we were born in that though. That used to be our punishment for losing beer pong. You had to eat moths, and it was.
Well, yeah, then that makes sense that he ate a moth.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
It's another edition of KFC Radio. If it sounds like I'm doing this podcast with an ice cube in my mouth, it's because I am. The voice you hear laughing is my esteemed colleague, John Henry Feidelberg, who just pissed himself.
Yo, like, I didn't know it was possible to eat something so hot it makes you piss yourself.
but here we are.
But I just did it. I feel like I have the flu right now. I feel like I'm coming down off of. I don't know. My body is rejecting a gummy bear. This is what happened.
We played a round of lowering the bar. Vibbs came back to the office today. Day one.
Vibbs, by the way, I think he thinks the office opened today. He's talking about like the cleaning lady who's been here every day for the last month and a half. Yeah. He's like, it's probably her first day at the office. Like, no, Vibbs, it's your first day at the office.
You're new, motherfucker. He came back, and I thought maybe don't do lowering the bar at all to start. Or maybe I said be like, oh, hey, welcome back to Lowering the Bar. We're going to eat undercooked cookies, and maybe you'll get salmonella. Instead, oh my God, I got the chills. I feel like I'm going through withdrawal. I feel like I'm a heroin addict going through withdrawal. I'm sweating, but I had the chills. John pissed himself.
My daily focus, my hourly, minutely focus since I first had that has been keeping my asshole shut. Like that
let
thing,
me tell you, you failed with keeping your dick shut.
I was the thing's so spicy it made me incontinent.
So the Lowering the Bar was this gummy bear that's like 9 million on the Scoville scale or something.
900 times hotter than jalapeno.
And it's a fucking gummy bear.
Vibbs pitched it to me. He goes, "Don't worry, it's not as bad as getting maced." Like that's where we're at now.
That's the bar.
Like
that's how low the bar is.
It's not as bad as getting maced.
And like one of these days, he's gonna be like, "Yo, no, don't worry. Like it only hurts a little bit more than a gunshot."
Yeah.
My tongue hurts so much. Does my tongue doesn't look like red or anything?
It's pretty standard.
When I breathe, the exhale of what I'm assuming is like 98.6 degree air from my fucking body, it hurts so much that it makes me want to stop breathing. Like if you gave me the option to just stop breathing, I think I would. Like I tried holding my breath earlier and like in survival instinct kicked in and I breathed again. I wish I didn't have that. I might hang myself to stop breathing.
I'm not sure if it's even like, I'm not even sure what's hurting me right now. If it's the gummy bear or if it's like, I mean, I had like 5 or 6 glasses of milk. Which like
the milk helps though. I've always heard milk makes it worse. Milk makes it better.
Milk makes it better for sure. Milk makes it better.
I heard that milk is a base and it goes into your stomach and then your stomach produces more acid and makes it worse. I don't know all about all that. All I know is milk in your mouth feels good.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to gargle it to get to the back of my throat. And I think you said something funny and I mean the gift that's gonna come out of it's all time. And then Feits was laying down, curled up. I had just done it, so I'm like, I'm dying. I'm putting ice in my mouth, milk, the whole nine. He at this point is just laying in the fetal position, saying how his body's rejecting it. And then he stands up, and there it is. Just a nice piss stain on his pants. And I was like, yo, this shit was so hot, you pissed yourself. And he was like, he looked down, he was like, yup. And the fucking next thing I did, I looked down at my own dick. I was like, did I piss myself too?
Yo, when I was probably a freshman in high school, I was in 8th grade. I went to Spain and I went to a bullfight, and it's one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Because like as they're slowly killing the bull,
you're going with this, and it's very funny.
He's just pissing and shitting everywhere.
You're a bull that's been stabbed 100 times by the matador.
I think I might be a dying bull.
As soon as you said that, I was like, I know exactly what he's gonna say.
His bag, like milk didn't not help, but like I'm just trying whiskey now. Like it's at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 3:20. I'm just like, I'll have a glass of whiskey, see if this helps.
I mean, I can't.
I have to
stop with
guess
the
what?
chills.
I have to be here until midnight tonight.
What?
I might have to do a Bruins live stream tonight.
Oh no!
Yeah, I'll be here till midnight tonight.
What time does the game start?
8 p.m.
You gotta go home first.
I can't go home first. If I go home, I won't come back.
You're right. You're right. You're definitely right. So you swallowed it. I spit like a little fucking. You're a little whore.
I swallowed it, and Vibbs goes, "Just so you know, if you have issues with heartburn or heart situations, you shouldn't have done that." And I said, Vibbs would have loved that information 30 seconds ago.
I am king of heartburn. You are the undisputed champion of heartburn.
Like, did you intentionally wait until I swallowed it to tell me that?
So I asked him because I think I did the polar opposite of you. It sounds like you chewed a little bit and then swallowed to get it out.
Yeah.
But then I think you had a full belly bomb hit your fucking insides. Yeah. I chewed it up good for him for the fucking video. I was like, I'll give you your reaction. I'll set my mouth on fire, but I'm not doing what he's doing. So I spit it out. But my mouth, man, I don't know which. I mean, I'm looking at you. A dead bull who's pissed himself, who just looked terrible.
Everyone keeps reminding me of that, by the way. Everyone's like, you look like the worst I've ever seen. Like, why?
But as hot, I think I might want that. My mouth is still on fucking fire.
See, my mouth didn't get that hot for that long.
Yeah, because you swallowed it down. Yeah, I don't know what's worse. My tongue. If you gave me like a knife, I think I would chop my tongue off right now. Ice did really help. Ice cubes helped, but we both were doing this thing. If you're watching on YouTube or a social media clip, both of our shoulders were like this. Like we were like retreating into ourselves. And I was like snot and milk all over me. I mean, hey ladies, you wanna spice it up in the bedroom? Remember that guy who drank the bottle of hot pepper, the hot sauce?
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, there was a guy on the podcast. No, Emma the asshole. Dude, as a joke, said, let's spice things up in the bedroom, and he chugged the bottle of hot sauce, and he hasn't. And remember the girl saying he hasn't been right for weeks?
Yeah,
he didn't want to have sex and stuff anymore. Well, yeah, I'm not. My dick's not gonna get hard for a month after this.
Oh, I'm actually incredibly horny.
What?
Yeah,
this got you going?
Yeah, like no,
I'm just not right. Maybe you came.
I considered going to the bathroom jerking off.
Maybe you came. Was that pre-cum or piss?
Good question. I don't know. I think it was piss, but I don't know for sure.
My man,
I was so horny.
Feidelberg ate a gummy bear so destructive. He doesn't know whether he came or pissed in his pants. That is absolutely unbelievable. So there's that. And honestly, we said, I was like, we can't do the podcast. Like, I can't do it like this. And I was like, all right, it'll be funny for the people. But then but my first feeling, I was like, I need like an hour break. Like it got to the point.
I think we're gonna take one. I think like we're just doing this part to be funny for a minute,
just chill,
and then we're gonna chill because I don't feel good at all.
Let's do one more segment because it rolls in nicely.
Okay.
Because this is also coming on the heels of a fucking big weekend. Is that affecting you at all?
No, I don't think so.
See, this weekend was John's birthday. My beloved turned 34. And
32.
34. And I tried to dig deep and throw my fastball, and I hit like 88 on the gun. It's like one more time for the boys back home. I'm going to do it. I'm going to kick it old school. Take it easy. And I reached back, and I was like Chet the Rocket Stedman. I was like, I'm done.
Really?
I mean, no, you tell me. Like, I mean, I hung, but it wasn't like.
I thought you hung. I mean, you took a nap, but like.
Yeah, I needed the nap. I needed the nap because the Friday, I was up at like 5 with my kids to start the day. So that day kicked my ass. And then we drove. And then, but I mean, we were drinking and smoking and like hanging out. It's just what I've learned in my age is, I said this on CCK. I think I'm at the point where I am unpeer pressurable. Like, if I really don't want to do something, I'm not fucking doing it. And I don't care how many people are telling me, like, do it. Like, you guys were vodka shots, and I would just be like, not doing that. You know, just not going to do that. And, but when I need to, in the moment, if I want to, I can just, like, do it. It's we wake up at 9 and we're going to do this till 4. You know? It's like, I have to do this for the next 17 hours. that I think that's more mental than anything. That gets in my head. I'm like, I can't fucking do this.
See, I don't even think about it. It was
it was
definitely long partying. It was a lot of partying. But like, I don't wake up. I don't think about the future at all. I'm
right.
Not like,
just live in the moment.
Like,
Shot, smoke, whatever. Just keep going. It was, an arrow bed on the floor, stay up all night, wake up early, and start going sort of weekend. And I think I really realized though, because any other time I used to do those, I was like in my prime, really, right? So I was able to I was the one leading the charge of like, wake up, let's drink, let's party, whatever. We're going to the bar, we're going to the Bordy Barn at fucking 12 a.m., whatever. But now doing it in my older age, where I was like not drinking as much, or not taking that shot, or taking a nap, or whatever, those weekends are just as fun because it's just about how fucking funny. You have to be doing it with the right people,
Right.
But I mean, like your friends from home are so fucking funny that the last night I was like, I wanted to go to bed for 3.5 hours. And every time I was like about to stand up an Irish goodbye, one of them would say something funny again, or another story would start. And I was like, I cannot miss these stories. They are that fucking funny. And I remember at one point, and your sisters called me out on it. I had a hat on and I covered my face. I had a hood on. And I was just retreating into myself, like into a ball. And they were like, are you just like hiding? And I was like, yes. Because I just want to leave. But G-Man is so fucking funny, I can't. And just stop with the jokes. But I've always said those weekends my favorite part about those weekends are almost the drive home where you're like, remember this? You remember that? You remember this happened, that happened? Recollecting those moments. I mean, I thought it was because I was super stoned that I was laughing so hard. And then I woke up and rethought of them and just started laughing again. So, there's different ways to do those weekends. Obviously, they're the best if you're just fucking
I have been
in your
farting
prime.
for 45 seconds.
We need to take a break. We'll be back. I can't take fart studio right now. We'll be back. Goodness.
like it just I just farted 45 seconds straight.
You need to go shit.
I'm scared to shit.
Yeah, I got that.
All right, that little hiatus was brought to you by Owen's Mixers. Little pause. We went and we're drinking anything in sight, and I should have grabbed myself an Owen's transfusion mix. I feel like
I bet grape ginger ale does help a lot.
Yeah, that's a combo that I think will just ease the pain on the tongue quite a bit. Owen's has craft mixers for all sorts of cocktails. Most importantly, just fucking bring it. I'm drinking transfusion straight. Fuck it. I don't even need the vodka. I'm just gonna fucking.
This is the cucumber and mint and cucumber and lime one is
So good.
it's one of the best mixes of all time.
Yeah.
It's just so
That
incredibly
combo.
refreshing.
Yep. It's a big time summer combo. The transfusion is obviously the big one for the golf course, but if you're by the pool or the beach or the boat, a mint cucumber lime with a little New Amsterdam vodka, baby. Oh, mama. Golf, the foreplay boys are tearing it up with the transfusion mix, though. You take the vodka with the grape juice and the ginger ale. It's nice, crisp, refreshing, warm weather. Hang out with your buddies, make some memories during the summertime, a cocktail. All you got to do is just add vodka or your favorite liquor to all the different Owens mixers. They have stuff for dark and stormies. They have stuff for the vodka drinks. They have rum drinks, everything that can make you have, a nice, fruity drink or a poolside drink, whatever. Go to Owens website, Owens Mixers, or you can go to the Barstool site with the foreplay section of the store, or you can go check out your local liquor store, see if they have it in stock. Go get it right now. Owens Mixers, specifically the transfusion mix for the foreplay boys. So we're back. Feidelberg, he's afraid to shit,
Scared to shit.
but I'm afraid that you're not going to shit. I want you to shit and get this out.
I'm scared. Okay, so I don't know how it works with all dogs, but my dog, if I feed her something spicy, it's scary to see her shit. She's like nervous and she like jumps up and all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's not going to
I also think I can taste blood right now. Like, I think it's destroying me from the inside.
Yeah. Oh, this little gummy bear is like Ted. It's like wreaking havoc on the inside of you. Spitting that out was the best thing I ever did. Ice in the mouth has really, really helped. And now it's just a matter of letting my tongue calm down. My insides are good to go. You're in it. For the long haul.
How I envy you, Kevin. And like the thing is too, like I don't shit a lot.
I know. That might not come out of you for 3 days.
Yeah, like this might Wednesday at the earliest, I think.
The reaction. So we walk out there, and Frankie Borelli had just gone, and Frankie Borelli's reaction made both of us look like Iron Man. I mean, Frankie was
like crying a lot.
Frankie was crying, full blown puking, and his heart rate went up to like 160 beats per minute. He was flying, man. So everybody had a different approach. Swallow it whole, chew it up, spit it out, get it down, keep it in your mouth, whatever. Nobody wins today, Johnny.
Yeah, no, but my approach, if I could do it again, I would take a different one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would.
Would you do what I've done? Just like just ruin your mouth, but not your insides?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that was the smarter of the two choices, for sure.
I mean, neither of them are good, but I just think that whatever's wrong with me, I don't think is going to be solved anytime soon.
You could say that about you for so many things. It has nothing to do with the gummy bear, bro. I don't think whatever it is that's wrong with me is going to be solved for a really long time. And the therapist says, that's all the time we have for today. See you next week.
Oh, man.
Getting the full, I met Polly Feidelberg.
Oh, right.
Got to meet Polly Feidelberg. Did not disappoint. She is just the funniest. She's got the fucking wit, like fucking cracks a whip, man. She just has timing. She's got a sense of comedy. She knows what's up. That was unbelievable. Polly lived up to the hype so much.
That's good.
It was a full
I was
Feidelberg
nervous
immersion.
for her.
I mean, I met your dad. Your dad always your dad never disappoints. At one point, John's dad explained to us what albums were, how to listen to musical albums. But he actually posed a really good question though that I think we should put into like ATI or whatever. What album has the best 3-song run to start the album ever? He said it was either the Pretenders or the Counting Crows album. Which one was
August
the
and
big
Everything
one?
After.
Yeah. So if anybody, I mean, I think that's like an interesting debate. Like
He-
the first, when you
I
put out
remember
an
when
album,
he asked me that
kids,
question, I
like
was
they
like-
literally don't even
I
know
was
what
like,
album.
I don't even know what an album is.
I know that's the thing. It's hard. It's like I certainly know young people do, but when you used to put on a CD and it was just like bow, 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 like oh you don't have to skip around, you don't have to go to the one single. It was pretty fucking dope. But I mean, your dad I know, Benny I know. I met a few of your sisters and like they were basically as described. Polly was the one I was like, this is big, this is important, and fully delivered.
Did she?
Fully.
I'm glad to hear
Fully,
that.
fully,
I was
fully.
very nervous about the whole thing. I was very nervous about you meeting the family.
Really?
I could just because like I think I talked about them a lot, and I was hoping they lived up to it.
I mean, your family you need a reality show. It's fucking hilarious. I mean, you all got such distinct personalities. It's unbelievable. I mean, Paulina is like the funniest person I've ever fucking met. And she's like just a little fucking cocky little thing, you know what I mean? Benny just sitting in the back, just like, what the fuck's wrong with all you people? It's like Benny's looking at the rest of them like, we all grew up in the same childhood. Why are you guys so fucked up? I'm fine. It was really fucking funny. That place, man. If I were you, I would move there right now. Be gone. I'm done with this fucking city.
What, the house?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
It is quite the piece of property. Everybody keeps saying that New York is dead and New York's a war zone and all this shit.
I don't feel that at all.
I don't
find
want to
that.
speak from a place of privilege because I'm sure, like, yeah, listen, it's always been this way. If you go to like the Bronx in the middle of August when it's 95, there's gonna be problems, and I'm sure there's more problems because there's issues with police, there's issues with what's open and what everything's just exacerbated. So I'm sure I saw the stats. It's like 64 wounded, 5 dead this weekend. I'm not saying it's not happening, but I think it's getting painted as like you can't walk outside. It's
No.
like I come to work, I park my car, I walk to the office. I went out, I just went for a walk today. Granted, I mean, there's a lot of homeless. Maybe this is the thing though. Like our threshold is pretty high. Like I was walking around today. I literally just went for a walk, and I was like, this ain't so bad. And I saw a homeless dude with his dick out, and I was just like, that doesn't faze me anymore. And like there was this bum who was like kind of like stumbling his way, and he almost bumped into me, and I just kind of sidestepped him and let him go by and kept walking. And I was like, it's beautiful out today,
Dude.
So maybe we're just a little bit broken, but
That's a fair assumption because
Yeah.
I think the same way as you. And like the other day, I moved a homeless man like a blind. He was naked doing chin-ups, and I was just like, "Excuse me, sir." I didn't actually.
That
touch
is
him,
the-
but it was kind of
yeah,
like,
yeah,
like,
you just walk
it's like-
around it a
it's
little. Yeah.
like
I mean-
like if that dude wanted to mouth fuck me, he could have. Like,
swing his dick right into your
it was
head,
right there,
dunking
it was
on
right
you.
at my mouth level.
And you don't even. I mean, if again, when we had that scene a couple weeks ago where that guy was screaming, if you took someone from like the Midwest or dropped him in the city and they just saw any of that stuff, they would be like scarred for life.
Right.
Whereas we're just like, I don't know, that's just regular.
It's Tuesday morning.
Yes, it is a disaster, but it's always been a disaster. And yes, it's at night and probably in some of the worser neighborhoods, it's really dangerous. But the idea that it's like, back to like New York in the 80s where like you just can't even go outside without getting fucking raped or something. It's like,
I don't even find that there are more homeless people. We've always had the shanty town. We've always had homeless people right outside this office. I don't see a lot of homeless people otherwise.
I think there are more homeless people in other parts. Like, I feel like we have like our bubble that we're used to, and that's filled with homeless people in Penn Station and a lot of grime, so we're like used to it. I think that's happening like, down Fifth Avenue and shit like that, where it used to be all like prim and proper, and it's like, I mean, there's a video from the other day. The other thing, by the way, you never know when videos are actually from, but it's supposedly recently, and this person was going down, it might have been Fifth Avenue, and everything was boarded up, like jewelry stores and high-end stores, and they're like, look, New York City's dead. And I'm like, for right now, I mean, like, it's gonna come back. I don't know when, but you can't tell me that like there's not gonna be like expensive stores in Manhattan, New York ever again. It'll be different. Some things will shift. I think if you're one of the people who left, you probably were on the verge of leaving. Like, I talked to Chris Stefano, and he's like, I gotta get out of the city, man. And I'm like, oh, like, Corona's that bad around you? And he's like, well, I've been thinking about it for a couple of years. I got a kid. I want to get a house. It's like, you were already almost there.
Yeah.
Maybe
you need an extra push.
Yeah, maybe you would have made it till like 40, and you're leaving at like 37 or some shit, because what better time than now? But I don't think like the 24-year-olds are fleeing the city. I think there's still like, this is the fucking spot to be.
I'm 32, 34, and I was like, I couldn't wait to come back.
Yeah. Also, maybe this is just as time goes on, and it's just human nature or whatever, but like, I'm not afraid of the coronavirus.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
I just like,
and again, it started. It's like,
I was scared. We were very outspoken about it, and I don't think it was. I think it's reasonable. I think we did our time. I think it worked. I think we all listened for the most part, and now the reward is that like we kind of can open up again, and people went to bars and they did their protests, and like, it's okay. And maybe that's like silly of me, but I'm just like, we're back in the office, kind of a lot more people around. I valet my car. I'm still not gonna do mass transit. I'm not gonna tempt fate here, but like.
See, I've done mass transit.
Have you done the subway?
I've done subway. I've done Acela. I've done planes. No, I've done a plane. No, I don't think I've done a plane.
I'm just kind of like, I don't think this is gonna get me here. LA's like we were in April. Like, it's all time based. So I'm not saying like for the rest of the country, but if you live in New York, like, I think you're Gucci. As long as you're not. I mean, you still got to follow rules and shit. But like, if there are people still like hiding in their house, I think you're okay.
I would say you are. I have no medical degree or anything, but sure, yeah, I'd agree with you.
You want to go get a drink? Yeah, sure.
I mean, I've gone to get a drink every night.
Yeah,
like I go out. I basically just because like, I don't know, my air conditioning's broken in my apartment, so I don't want to hang out in a hot room.
Yeah,
so I just hang out on the street
but I'm saying you're not ever sitting there like, oh fuck, right?
Never even crosses my mind.
Not at all. Maybe we're idiots, but I think we just did our time. I think we did it right. I think it's like the reward for fucking listening. We get to be open now. Until there's a second wave, we're all dead. We got a couple interviews today. We got fucking Akon on the show.
Convict.
Yo, Akon is gonna blow your fucking mind, because we talk about this on the interview. People don't really know like who the real Akon is. You think of him just like a pop star and like the hook guy. He is like, he's the most well-rounded. He's like a Renaissance man.
Yeah.
He's like, we're talking politics. We're talking building infrastructure and architect. I mean, like, crazy shit that I guarantee you really didn't know, on top of all the music that we talk about as well. So Akon that was one of my favorite interviews ever. And then we have Andy Haynes, who's a comedian from New York City, who's Rosebud Baker's fiance. We've had Rosebud on the past. She went on the podcast. She did Friday Night Pints. She'll be on tonight's episode of ATI. And she was just like making fun of him the whole time. So we had to give Andy the chance to come back and counterpunch. And boy, he did. So we have like a feuding couple using our airwaves here. So two interviews. It's Akon and Andy. So we got Akon and Andy Haynes. We'll do our top fives and voicemails. Top five today in honor of the new Answer the Internet app, which is flying through the App Store. We'll do top five apps of all time. It's brought to you by NHTSA, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Everyone knows about the risks of driving drunk. You could get in a crash, you could get people hurt or killed, but I'm going to hit you with some surprising statistics, because as a wise woman once said, numbers never lie.
Oh.
There's a commercial out right now for Toyota Highlanders that looks like if you plucked Tico, Texas out of the hood and like gave her a shower and gave her a job and stuff. It's her. It's wild. It's Tico, Texas on a fucking commercial.
Really?
It's crazy. She's like, and she's in like a derby hat and outfit. I don't know what, I couldn't hear the commercial, so I don't know what it's about. But Tico, Texas is basically in a Toyota commercial. Surprising statistics. Almost 29 people in the U.S. die every day in alcohol-impaired vehicle crashes. That's one every 50 minutes. So by the time you listen to this podcast, like 3 fucking people are dead. Even though drunk driving fatalities have fallen by a third in each of the last 3 decades, drunk driving crashes still claim more than 10,000 lives. Drunk driving, if you don't die, can have a huge, big impact on your wallet as well. You can get arrested. You can incur legal expenses. You could lose your job. So what can you do to prevent drunk driving? Plan a safe ride home before you start drinking. Designate a sober driver or call a taxi. If someone you know has been drinking, take their keys, arrange for them to get a sober ride home. We all know the consequences, but one thing's for sure, you're wrong if you think it's no big deal. So drive sober or get pulled over.
I don't understand how DUIs happen.
Well, I'm
to this day.
gonna go number 1 overall pick because of this. Uber.
Oh wow! Right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
Huh?
I mean, and I wasn't. That was on my list, but it wasn't going to be number 1. But it kind of is. When you think, like, when you live the lifestyle that we live for the years that we've lived it, where it's like we're always going to go out drinking. I mean, this Uber's convenient, but it also like saved lives and kept people out of jail and all sorts of shit with like the snap of fingers.
Right. I definitely would have at least 2 dead friends
And 1,000 DUIs. Yeah. Like, I mean, maybe we were probably a little late because we were living in like New York City, but like if you were in high school when you're first starting drinking and you're driving to parties and shit, or you like have a car.
See, I never did that because we didn't go to like.
You were like on a campus, right?
But no, but like when we partied in high school, we went somewhere for the weekend. So we never really did like the like local, like, you know, someone's parents were out of town.
Yeah.
We had a lot of friends who had like their parents were okay with us drinking. So it was like, as long as you stay here kind of deal. And we'd go for Friday through Sunday. And
we were always doing like short range. I'm still like, my tongue is get the chills still. Terrible. We were always doing like short drunk driving, basically. Yeah. It's like we weren't like hitting the highway, but it was like, yeah, well, you know,
right,
like 5 blocks over, and it's like that's how you fucking end up dead though, or arrested. So like if it was that era, I used to call Bluebird Taxi. It was like what was the fucking number? It was 6969, I think, were the last 4 numbers or whatever. It was like something I used to have embedded in my brain. And sometimes they come get you, and sometimes they'd be like, it's an hour wait, bro. And then you'd be like, I don't know, I guess I got to start walking or whatever. And now it's just like, pow, automatic ride. So the rest of my list is probably going to be convenience and whatnot. But on a real note, Uber or Lyft or just like on-demand cars really is like change the fucking world.
All right, number 1, I am going to pander, and it's going to be Answer the Internet.
Yo, ATI did 25,000 downloads in the first 24 hours, which sounds good to me. Sounds good. So a whole new host of people playing. You know, the Google Play people, the Android people keep asking me. Just like, sorry.
I don't know what to tell you.
Like, and it really is a dollars and cents thing. Like, I asked about it, and they were like, listen, having like an Android developer for like 5% of our audience just doesn't make sense. It's like, just none of you motherfuckers have Androids. So I'm sorry if you're in the 5%. But ATI is like, I think you had to be like a real fan of KFC Radio and ATI to like get the card game and shit. And I think this is like gonna be like a whole new host of people who are like, fuck it, I'll download the app, you know? And
everyone who like, if you download it, you will love it. Like we were playing on the drive up, and like my girlfriend kept being like, another question.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we'll get there. Relax.
Yeah. No, but it's funny because I mean, anytime we've played it, it's been like here. I don't think I've really played it much, like as the card game. But someone's got the phone. You're in the car. You're sitting around the fire. Whatever it is, just whip it out. And I feel like the descriptions coming in of people being like, you know, I don't even know if my wife likes me anymore. One guy said, like, I learned a lot about my wife that I don't like, and I found out that my sister-in-law is a freak. Yep, that's what's going to happen with ATI. So you can download the ATI app now, Answer the Internet in the App Store. Comes with 2 free decks with a sample from the card game, and then you can buy up to 5 new expansion packs. It's $15 for all 5 apps, so you save like 25% if you buy it that way. So I recommend just buying the GOAT bundle. But it's... I mean, we did it last week. Like, Friday Night Pints too. We I planned on asking like 20 questions. And we
did
asked
two,
two,
right? Yeah.
because they just take you here and take you there, and you have conversations you like never thought to experience. So like whenever even the dumb ones that we always get as like the stereotypical, would you rather fuck this or fuck that? It's like it starts that way, and you're gonna end up talking about like fucking George Washington in the colonial era. It's like, I don't even know how we got here, because if you're funny and you have fun with the conversation, it's a good time. No, number one app of all time.
Number one app of all time,
Ever.
for sure.
All right, my number 2 app. I don't know whether this could go either way. This could have either been this could be top 5 best, top 5 worst. Twitter.
Good.
Twitter
Yeah,
app.
knew that one was coming.
I mean, it consumes. I don't do that screen time shit. I don't like to look at that.
Oh fuck no! I wouldn't even know how to get there.
Yeah, that's
I've
like
never looked
that's
at
like
it.
stepping on a scale. It's like I don't go seeking out what I don't want to see.
Right, I'm aware it's unhealthy.
Yeah, very
That's
bad.
all.
I don't need to know just how unhealthy,
Yeah.
Because if I'm sitting there like, I bet I'm on my phone 8 hours, and I look and it says like 14. I'm gonna be so pissed.
14 would be what my guess is.
But I have looked
12,
at battery percentage before, because like at one point my battery was dying like crazy. It was just because my phone was getting old. But you can look at what percentage of things are eating up your battery. And I mean, the Twitter bar was like huge.
Really?
And then Instagram was like a speck. And then like Safari was a speck. And I was like, holy shit. So, and I hate it. It's the worst thing that's ever happened to me, Twitter. I don't know why I'm still on it. I should not be on Twitter.
What are you talking about?
It's
I know
the
why
worst.
you're on it.
'Cause I'm addicted.
Well, because like we need to promote things.
Yeah, that's all I should do.
I don't really tweet as much as I used to anymore.
Yeah, I'm still just in the mix like a fucking asshole.
I definitely rarely like.
Mix it up and like fight and shit. Yeah,
Right.
I'm still in there in the
I'll
trenches.
favor. I acknowledge things, but like, if someone disagrees with me, I'm just like, whatever, they disagree with me.
Smart. Mute button and just don't even look at it. I'm still like fighting like a moron. And so I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but when you use your iPhone and the app you use, like 89% of the time is this thing, it's got to be on your list.
Yeah.
So good or bad, best
See,
or worst.
it's interesting. You think of it as like you think like I think it's bad I don't engage anymore because I think it's probably, like,
grass is always
worse
greener.
for my career.
Yeah,
to, like,
yeah. Listen, the
like-
reason I do it. Well, the reason I do it is because I'm addicted. The reason I tell myself I do it is for work, and the reason I really do it is because I'm an asshole. And I like to fight with strangers. I'm argumentative. I like to win arguments and debates. So like, yeah, but I like look at you. I'm like, oh, I wish I could be like that. So
it is. Yeah, it's definitely a grass is greener thing. But
if I had like 5 million followers and I'd be like, yeah, dude, like, why aren't you doing this? But like, we have like the same amount. It's like,
no, you have way more followers. Than I
not
do.
really though. We're like in the same bracket basically.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
like I lose my fucking mind. I'm like banging my head against the wall. You're just like hanging out, chilling, and we have the same amount. So if I shut the fuck up, I would probably have 1 million followers. Do you know how many followers over the years I've lost from just saying all my thoughts? Like every single one of my thoughts are polarized. There are none that get people being like, oh, we all like what that guy's saying. Everything from sports, like, I mean, I live in New York and I hate the Yankees. You know how many followers that's lost me? I work at Barstool and I fucking hate the Patriots. I mean, these are glass ceilings that I am just never gonna overcome. And then when I really get rolling and I start ripping and saying shit, I mean, I remember out of everything I've ever done, the Black Lives Matter stuff, the George Floyd protests, like 9/11, all that sort of shit. When I talk shit about Derek Jeter, I mean, it's like will plummet.
Really?
Yankee fanboys gone. If I say that, like, maybe not so much anymore, but like when he was still playing, if I said that jump into the crowd was unnecessary, down.
I firmly disagree with that.
That it was good.
I think yes, I think that was a necessary jump.
It's not.
It's
the only. First of all,
he's
if you believe it's
full
necessary,
speed from shortstop to
he catches the ball in fair territory.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
He takes 2 steps. It's too and look, I'm not like a Derek Jeter fanboy. I'm not, but I always am like Carabas. I see he goes in on it too. I'm always like every time I look at that, I'm like he takes 2 full steps,
and then he Superman dives into the fucking stands.
It's a low fence.
You
it's
slide. You slide.
No. Nick, can you pull it up, please?
He fucking like dives and throws his arms back like a lunatic.
I think it is. There might be something that's a little dramatic about it, but
and the real thing is that he
been,
shouldn't have even had to be fucking full speed like that. Every other shortstop is parked underneath that ball.
Okay, that is a different story.
Yeah,
but watch. He takes 2 firm steps.
That's fair
1-2.
territory.
It's 1-2.
And then he flies into the stands.
Like, it's not that
Dude, he could have
dramatic of a
turned.
catch.
He could have ran into the outfield. He had enough time. Yes.
No, it's not. It's two
It's
solid
a fair
steps.
fucking ball.
I think this is such a polarizing catch because of what was happening on the bench at the same. Like this effectively.
That wasn't the best catch in the game. Pokey Reese had a better catch.
1-2. So he does 2 steps.
And then he Supermans himself into there.
It's an exceptionally low wall. Like, if it was a regular sized wall, he probably would have just, like, stopped at it. That, like, if you try and stop there, like, your knee is getting fucked up, and you just gotta go. 1-2. It's a 2-step.
Just fucking turn. Turn.
No one else can go.
Literally
like,
turn.
No one on the planet can run full speed.
Turn.
And
Your second
take
step,
2
turn.
steps. And stop in 2 steps. You can't.
You don't have to stop. You just don't have to dive into the stands. Turn. Run the other way. Run. Like, if you go like this, he's running right at the stands. If he just goes like this.
I don't think that's necessary. I don't think this was an unnecessary catch. I think that it is such a big deal because of what was happening on the Red Sox bench where Nomar wasn't playing, and it effectively ruined his career with the Red Sox. It was kind of like those two, like the juxtaposition of that, where it's like Nomar had like taken himself out of the lineup and like refused to pinch hit or something like that.
His wrist was hurting or some
Yeah,
shit.
it's like something, and it was like, well, that's what this guy's doing.
Yeah, that's
and
tough.
you were not, and like
That's
that
tough.
was kind of what what really like soured him to the people of Boston and stuff like that. And he's now he's
Back around as like the hero.
In retrospect,
Yeah.
he's fine, but I know it was not well.
Would
received at the moment.
you, if you could go back, which shortstop would you rather have? Would you take the longevity of Jeter or the peak of Nomar?
Yeah, I mean, take the longevity of Jeter.
Yeah?
I mean, the peak of Nomar was obviously higher, but never won anything.
Yeah.
Right? It's what does that peak get you
Mm-hmm.
if it doesn't get you a championship?
It's so fucked that they traded in the year.
I
mean, the year,
I also
you break
was-
the curse is like, was it Orlando Cabrera was the shortstop
Yeah.
of that? And he like did exactly what you really needed to kind of like be that guy. And I'm like, that hurts.
I also was weird too, like he got a ring. Like, yes, he was on the team that year, but like I don't know.
I feel like you I mean, he that's almost like a little bit of a lifetime achievement award too. But like, if you were in first place at the break or some shit and Nomar played well,
yeah,
that stuff does matter. But that is the all-time number one. I'm rooting against my team, and I'm not saying it moment. Like, he wanted no part of that Red Sox team winning the World Series. I don't care what you say. Oh, I know those guys. They're like my family. I'm rooting for them. No, you're not. No, you're not,
I'd
bro.
rather you fail miserably.
So anyway, yeah, Yankee fans hate me. They unfollow me. Next up,
number 2, maps.
oh shit! I see. I don't even think it. Like, yeah,
Oh, that's what all mine are going to be, by the way, from
like
here on
things
out.
like are we saying like the text message? That's not like an app,
No.
right? Okay, because like that would obviously.
But calculator is going to be number 3. Just so we're clear on that, I'll steal that one. I'm going to go.
Okay, you do 2. I'll do 2.
My number 3 is calculator. Yeah, I don't have many apps. I don't
You
really
download games. You
I don't have
download
games. I don't really. I
yeah.
have Twitter and Instagram,
Right,
and then
right.
I don't really
phone,
play a
yeah.
lot of stuff. But like, it's all gonna be just basic functionality, surviving in the world apps are from here on out.
Google Maps is one that has pretty much
I don't even have Google Maps, just regular
just
maps.
maps, whatever. That's crazy. That's crazy. That app stinks.
Why? Everyone always says that to me. I've never had an issue with that app.
That app is not great.
Why?
I can't remember, but it's bad.
Like I think it's just a stigma thing. I've never had an issue with.
I feel
with
like this.
Apple Maps
I feel
or
like
whatever
I
it is.
can like just search things on Google Maps. Like you don't need the exact address and it'll like find it for you. I feel like the maps I need to like know where I'm going.
See, I've never. I'll type in something, and it's just like
It's a great one. That has that's an app that has changed the world, probably for the worst, quote unquote. Like there's an entire generation, and now everyone after it that will never have a sense of direction ever again.
No.
There are people that it used to be like a thing, like an intuition that was just like, I think it's to the right, like I can't remember, but I feel like we went right, and like you navigate your way home, and it's just like, oh shit, I found it, which now is like mind blowing. Like I woke up early to get coffee for everybody the other morning, and the coffee place away from your house is like it was literally like 1 mile away, and I put it into the app, and I knew the name of the coffee place, but I didn't know your address, so I put it in the map, and I drive there, and then it was time to get home, and I was like, I didn't pay attention at all. I didn't pay attention where I made a left, where I made a right. It was a 1 mile drive, and that one I actually
Basically straight shot.
Yeah. It was like one. It was like 2 turns, but and they were more like kind of like turns, like lean this way, lean that way, and I made it. But I was like, boy, if this was like a couple more turns, I would have had to call someone and be like, I don't know how to get home. And that's going to be everybody. It's just a skill that is just not necessary anymore.
Yeah, there was a time when like every human being was like a cop chasing a suspect, which is like they always get it right. A cop in a TV show.
Yeah,
Like he went right.
Yeah, they just know. They just find him.
Right. They somehow find him.
I mean, the idea of holding out a map in a car is simply
Pulling
preposterous.
over. That's the thing.
Simply asking for
Pull
directions,
over.
and they would be like, 35 trees down, you make a right, and then you're gonna see 2 posts and make a left, and then it's like,
Dude,
how can you even remember?
My dad one time pulled off the highway. We were coming home from a Giants game, and got off the highway in like Trenton or something like that, and asked the cop who was in the middle of arresting somebody how to get home, and the cop answered.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
He's like,
at that point, it was like,
you're gonna take 95 north, head up that way. Dad's like, all right, thank you.
At that point, he would be arresting someone else because this guy can't get home. Like, there's gonna be problems. We gotta get these people home.
He had a guy bent over on the fucking hood of the car, putting handcuffs on him, and just gave an answer. It was one of the craziest things.
And now
I've
it's
seen.
just
Like, the asking and the response are both like, wait, what the fuck is wrong with both of you?
All right, so you did 2 there. I'll do 2 next. I am gonna go with. I'm gonna go with an app I don't have
Okay.
that I don't use, but I think changed the world. And all of these, you say like the one, but you lump it in. No, you know what? Not yet. I'm gonna save that. Venmo.
Oh,
Venmo.
good one.
Venmo, PayPal a little bit, Cash App now, sure. But when you say Venmo won the Kleenex war. Like you Venmo someone, you know what I mean? Cash App a little bit. Venmoing people, forever saved. Like we don't have to split up on 55 cards at dinner. We don't have to.
And it's also not real money.
Well, that's the best part.
That's hands down the
absolute
best part.
It's just like it's like a little savings account you might stumble into sometimes.
I always just say I'll Venmo you, and I'll tell you what. A lot of the time I don't.
Not because I'm being cheap, not because I don't want to. It's just like I forgot to do that, like I forget to do everything else.
Right,
And
yeah.
guess what? The person who was supposed to get it, they forgot they were
They
supposed to
forgot
get it.
too, yeah.
And that's just a free meal.
Dude.
Just got free drinks.
I told Casey that yesterday we're getting drinks, and I left early, and I was like, just let me know what the bill is. I'll Venmo you. I'm never gonna give her money.
I do miss though with your friends. I always liked better like you get the bill this time, I'll get it tomorrow. You get it Thursday, I'll get it Friday, and that's effectively Venmoing.
That's
like,
what that's
to just Venmo back and forth is so stupid.
Right. No.
But to
I'm-
Venmo strangers, or like fringe friends, where it's like you're not gonna get me back tomorrow. The next time we're gonna hang out, it's like 6 months from now.
Right.
So I gotta send you like $100 now, otherwise I put you out. So Venmo would be my big one, and then this is the one that I was saying I don't have, but I think changed everything. Tinder. I think Tinder was the first acceptable like we're just gonna fuck app.
Yeah.
And then since then they've.
It did make it very normal. Like Match.com, like if you were on Match.com, you were a
weirdo, like looking for love, and you were gonna get married. eHarmony, and I learned very late that all those were like eHarmony is the Christian one. Like they have like heavy religious undertones on some of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I did not know
eHarmony
that.
is a big
I knew
time.
J-Date
like,
was obviously
yeah.
one,
The Jews were a little heavy-handed with it. The other ones were a little like under the radar.
J-Date was like, do you wear little hats and like to have anal sex? What's up? I'm Rebecca.
with a K and an H. Yeah. Rebecca with a K and an H who will definitely fuck you. Fuck you. You can fuck that girl in the ass on the first date. Matzo ball soup, mazel tov, and you're gonna fucking do anal, man. But Tinder was like, they normalized like, yeah, like we're just fucking. And I mean, I've never been on any of those apps, so I missed the boat on that one.
That's what it was. That's what Match. It was the normalization of it. But Match.com was the same way. Like
all about
I had a buddy who his uncle was on Match.com, and he's like,
I just smashed.
he's like, I fuck 4 out of 5 times a week. Like I go on a date every night. 4 to 5 times I close. I was like 13.
Yeah.
And I was like,
why
are you sharing this
closed,
information?
sir? What? I think it's stopped for the most part. I think there's probably still a little bit left, but the internet dating stigma was around for a while, and I never understood it. Like you get everything else on the internet. Why would you not
Yeah.
why would your sex life not be affected by the internet too?
I remember I was very surprised. The first person I ever met who she worked at my high school, and she was a very pretty woman. and she met her. She was young. She was a younger person as a young teacher.
Yeah.
And she met her fiance or husband. I forget if they were married at the time or not. And she had met him on Match.com. And I remember I was blown away.
Remember, it used to be like you would lie.
You're two like hot young people. Why are
like,
you
didn't
meeting
need
on
to be on the internet?
Match.com?
You know, that's for losers. That's where people can't find anything. It's like, or people would say like, oh, we just met at a bar. Like you shame about it. It's like, yeah, we're hot and we want convenience, and we just like swiped and got it. I get my food on the internet. I get my entertainment on the internet. Everything else on the internet. Why would I not?
I wouldn't get my pussy on the
Gotta
internet.
get that wet ass pussy on there. Shit. Start basically whoring yourself out. Yes. You're up to your fourth pick.
My number 4 pick, alarm clock. Which I haven't used in
Months.
Yeah. Dude, it's actually awesome. I woke up at 10 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a thing, like natural waking up. If you can do that every day, I think you're an infinitely happier person.
Yeah.
Without even realizing it.
No.
So think about how bad it would be. Think about how bad it would be if you had to wake up like 6 every morning.
It is stressful though, because every time I wake up, there's always like some group message from KFC Radio or from Nick.
I'm always like,
what did I miss?
Yeah, there's a news story or something like.
Right. But I never think I missed an interview.
But then guess what? You realize it's never anything important.
Oh, dude, we talked about this extensively in therapy. It was like, she's like, so what happens if you just don't do something? I'm like,
you got me there, bitch.
Then nothing.
I mean,
She's
I
like,
remember
right,
thinking.
It's important to remember that. You don't have to, it's like, she was the one, it was her idea to maybe let's chill on the Twitter kind of stuff for a while.
Yeah.
And she's like, but like, do you ever think what it would be like to just not comment on things? I'm like, huh. No, I hadn't
Novel
thought about
concept.
that.
But I also think I think we're at a point where we can do that. Like, I pride myself on like the first like 5 years, like, you know, none of us, we didn't miss a fucking thing.
No.
Nobody, it was a race to get to a story. It was the race to be the funniest, the first,
I think it
whatever.
was more than 5. It was like for 7 years.
Yeah. I mean, it's still happening,
Right.
but I got to a point, like I remember like Francesca would always go on vacation like the whole summer. And there would be like big news that breaks, like, I don't know, Eli Manning, like retire or some shit. And Mike's on vacation. And I remember thinking like, how? Like, doesn't he want to like get to the studio or dial in or whatever? And then in recent years, I started to realize it's like, well, I've broken a million news stories on the air. We've talked, I've been first to the blog 1,000 times, like, and all right. And now if you get there first, he gets there first, like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll be back like, you know, in a week or two, and then another news story will break. I think once you realize how much the world doesn't stop, 2 things. The world doesn't stop, and 2, you don't matter.
Right.
And when you realize those 2 things, it's like, well, whatever little amount I do matter, I'll be there for the next one, or whenever I get back from vacation, or whatever your time frame is. But you don't have to be there for every fucking one.
I've talked about this before on the podcast, but the 10-10-10 rule basically changed my life.
What's that one?
Will this matter in 10 days? Will it matter in 10 months? Will it matter in 10 years? Almost nothing even
that's
gets
the
past
problem.
the 10-day
I was gonna say, I don't know. That might be too dangerous. I'll become this nihilistic drug addict. Like I'll just be like, 10 days. That's it.
And like literally, like when you think about it, like when you think about
Yeah.
problems and stuff like that,
And
in
10
that-
years?
10, almost nothing gets past 10 days. Nothing has ever 10.
Gone
I'm
past
like,
10
that will
months.
matter in 10 years.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's a rule for someone who's just trying to convince themselves they don't have to do a motherfucking thing.
Hello, I'm John. Nice to meet you.
The alarm clock is good too, though, because having an actual alarm clock is preposterous. Have you ever had one?
An alarm clock? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
still
never
have
know
alarm
one on
clocks.
the border. Like, I mean, having an alarm clock. I still do this a little bit with my phone, but the completely irrational fear that your alarm clock is not set when you had an actual clock. I mean, I would check that fucking 1,000 times before going to bed, and it would just be like, yeah, I'm a computer. You set me. I'm gonna ring at 6 a.m. Don't worry.
Dude,
but it used to be
6 a.m.
When was the last time you woke up at 6 a.m.?
Probably. Well, I mean, there have been like random flights and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but like regularly waking up at 6 a.m. hasn't happened since like my sophomore year of college. Before when I did landscaping one summer.
Unbelievable.
That was the last time I ever did that.
Last
Even-
and probably first.
Because
right?
even like first and last. Because like even my job, maybe it might have been my freshman year of college. Like my sophomore, junior, senior year, I had the best job in the world. I worked on a sailboat.
Yeah.
And it was 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day.
Oh my God.
And so like
I literally just got the chills. That almost made me come a little bit.
So,
that
like-
age, 11 to 9, don't have to wake up early, still can get out on time, and you get paid. Oh my God.
every night, I worked every single day for 3 summers in a row, Monday through Sunday, every single
But it
day.
didn't
I
even
worked.
like phase
So I was
you.
like, it
You're on a
doesn't fucking
boat.
matter. Like,
Yeah.
I'm on a boat. This is what I want
I
to do
can
during
sleep,
the day.
I can party, and I'm on a
go
boat.
out all night,
Oh,
and I can wake up
man.
in the morning and be fine.
Dude, Mr. Feidelberg told a John Henry story the other day. First of all, you just like casually dropped that you were playing for like the fucking Team USA in the Czech Republic. That was just a casual little flex. I was like, what is this, the fucking Mighty Ducks here? Oh, so we're over in the Czech Republic playing in juniors. I was like, what? But Feits' dad was like, what year is that?
That was my sophomore year of high school, I believe.
So that what like literal year would that be? Do you know?
I think I turned 16 while I was there, or I turned 15 while I was there. Oh, you mean
Like year of the calendar.
that would have been like 04.
Okay, so like post 9/11, because he was like, right now in the world it's a little like tense, and people are like, I don't know about Americans right now. I didn't know like what he was referring to, but he's like, so I'm thinking like I gotta send my son over there, and like I just hope he kind of like lays low and blends in, and he doesn't like piss anybody off being an American. And down comes John Henry in Madras shorts, a pink polo with the collar popped, and a cowboy hat. And like as he was describing it, I'm picturing the infamous Feidelberg High School picture, which we know how big of a dickhead you look like. So I'm going up the ladder of like that picture, like check. I did not see cowboy hat coming out. I was like, what? This guy goes to the Czech Republic in a cowboy hat. What an asshole. Unreal.
That trip they got hookers, and I was too scared to have sex with them.
That's probably a good bet, though. It's
Yeah.
probably safe. You don't need to be fucking hookers when you're 15. That's like you're a changed man at that point.
We went to this.
That's Pandora's box, literally, or a chick named Pandora that you don't want to be in.
It was called Darling Cabaret, which is like the strip club there. And dude, that was such a funny trip because first of all, we found out Darling Cabaret was like right next to the hotel we're staying in, and then we called them and they're like, "Yeah, we'll come pick you up in a limousine right now." If you had like 8 people, they pick you up in a limo. I'm like, well, we have a whole hockey team,
Right.
So come on down. And
Stroll around the corner to the place.
yeah, and it was like, but I got a lesbian lap dance there for whether I turned 16 there or 15 there, I forget. But like I had braces and the whole shebang, and lesbian strippers who were acting like lesbians took off my shirt and just started sucking my nipples like in front of my team, and I was just like, I don't even really know any of you guys. Like it was like
right.
like a childhood team we grew up with. Like
right.
we all met like 3 weeks ago at training camp. It was
That'll fuck you up. That'll fuck you up good, man.
it was the what was it too? The last night we were there at like 4 a.m. we had like a 6 a.m. flight kind of deal, and like we were just spent the night there.
Yeah.
And my buddy called his mom and was like, "I need you to wire me money right now because I owe a stripper money." And she's like, "What time is it?" And he's like, "It's 4 o'clock in the morning, Mom. I just need
the money.
money."
Questions later. Money now. Nick, is this my 4th pick or where are we at?
You're on 5.
Okay. I'm going to have to go with. I'm down to 2 in my mind. Now I'm down to 3 in my mind. Here are my thoughts. Here are my 3. 1 is Instagram. That just changed the world as far as like hot chicks, and it's basically like a dating.
I
pinnacle, right?
resent Instagram. Instagram
Yeah.
killed the it girl.
Right. So I actually that's making me lean away from Instagram, because Instagram, I never did the dating apps, but I do fuck around on Instagram. So like I will. That has directly impacted my life. But I miss the days of like local smoke shows where it just I really think Instagram was not good for the world, as a world that's already materialistic and shit. You just realize that there's just like so many hot girls.
Yeah.
Like girls that I used to think like from high school who were like, this is the prettiest girl I'm ever gonna meet. And I was like, you're kind of like mediocre. And that actually happened when I did local smoke shows, which was like Facebook and shit. And then Instagram just took that to the next level. So all right, Instagram out, even though I
Megan,
respect it.
because of Instagram, Megan Fox is the last it girl that will ever be.
Yeah,
alive.
I agree. Because if there's a girl who's hot now, you can be like, yeah, that girl's hot, but have you seen like Miss Bikini Bum Bum on Instagram?
Right.
And it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, but is she mega famous, or is there a reason?
Even like
why?
Radikowski. Like Radikowski is still like probably the hot girl, but
Yeah.
she's not an it girl. She doesn't get
No.
like it's not. She might do spreads. I don't know, but it's not a big. It's not
No.
like when Megan Fox did FHM.
Right.
It's not like when Marilyn Monroe did like fucking
Right.
whatever.
You're never gonna
her
get that, like,
dress shit was.
iconic hot
It's
anymore.
not when Pamela Anderson did her shit. Not
Right.
when Aubrey Hepburn. Like the it girl isn't.
But I mean,
a
I'm sure those
thing
girls. I'm
anymore.
sure Summer Rae is like, I don't give a fuck about that.
Oh.
I'm the it girl on my app, and I got 100 million followers.
Right, they make
But-
more money than the it
Yeah.
girls did, but it was
But
like
for
it's
us-
not an iconic
Yes.
thing anymore.
All right, so Instagram's out. So I'm down to my final picks. It would be between, let's call it like Postmates, DoorDash, some sort of food delivery, and Spotify for music.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because whether it's Apple Music or Spotify, music on my phone is like one of the most important things. But delivering food keeps me alive. So
I've given this take before. I don't know if I did it on this show. I don't care for the apps anymore.
for the delivery apps,
I've finally like accepted that. Like I
you
never had an enjoyable meal.
well, they're not good.
They're not. It's not like
But what else-
there's
what else
a
do you
reason,
eat?
historically speaking, that the only two meals that traveled were pizza and Chinese food because they're still the only ones that travel.
Yeah,
Like
they
you,
don't
like
travel
you
well.
get Mexican food, you get whatever. It's like this is cold and sucks. Like,
Yeah,
this
the
isn't-
soggy fries and you know,
It's like you don't get me wrong. I use the apps to order pizza and Chinese food, but like I basically just get pizza and Chinese food now. That's
yeah.
it.
I mean, I'll still get like Italian like chicken dishes. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, those
Chicken
are fine.
parm, chicken franchise, shit like that. Anything with bread, anything that can get soggy, that's tough.
Dude, I feel like,
Wings are
like, you ever
terrible.
ordered Chick-fil-A? Comes just wet.
It's soaking, just drenched.
It's just like
So
a,
was it- does
like
it
a
rain?
soggy fucking
Yeah,
bun.
absolutely
Because
gross.
like that's how that shit fucking works.
Gross.
Same thing with like Wendy's is the same way. Wendy's
Yeah.
you get a chicken sandwich. It comes in like one of those like heat packs or whatever
Yeah,
the fuck they are.
in the
and
like, tinfoil pack.
It just
basically.
becomes a fucking ecosystem. In
Yeah.
it. And it like
You remember when we used to make it rain inside those 2 liters?
Yes,
that's what
that's
happens.
exactly
It
what
just
I was
pulls
thinking
up
of.
and drips down. Pulls up and drips down. So here's my thing. You could used to order food. You could call a place and get it delivered. This made it more convenient, but it didn't like make it possible.
Mhm.
Music, like I used to love having an iPod. I used to have like a second like a device that just had like 10,000 songs on it. And I would have all like sorts of playlists, all that shit. So I could, like both of those things could still happen. But I'm gonna give the edge to Spotify.
Spotify.
Yeah, because of like new music, because of like curating playlists, because of like you listen to this song, you might like this song. I've actually found a lot of songs I like that I would never have found because of that.
Really? See, I actually, you know what? I resent Spotify as well because me and Dante were arguing about this the other day because he's like, what happened to you, man? Like, you used to be like the music guy. He's like, we've been on the Blackout tour. Like, you'd be teaching me about like new songs,
Yeah.
and new guys.
When
And I
they
was-
killed the illegal downloads, killed that.
yeah. Well, it was like that was when we were like, at least I was like. It was the golden era of blogs, of music blogs.
Right.
Where like I would check like hype floats, I'd check fucking this song slaps or whatever it is. And they were probably like 4 sites
Jack
I'd check.
Piff, all hip hop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like every single day. I would
Right.
that was like part of my daily
fresh
routine.
new tracks.
Fresh new tracks.
FNC,
Yeah.
yep.
Um.
But those all stopped when you couldn't do those share beast links anymore.
Right.
Those guys all started getting hit with like copyright illegal shit, so they stopped. And then it was like we're all just at the mercy of like when the people put the music out. So I'm not gonna like scour the internet anymore.
Yeah, and it was like that made it like fun. Like there was a hunt to get it.
And if you found it first or like a reference track where it was like this isn't even the real one that they're gonna release, but like I know it already and you could download it, put it on an iPod and like play it. I was like the music guy where it was always like, the original like aux cord type shit. And now it's like now everybody is.
Now I just don't because everyone has access to it. Now I don't care.
Right.
Now,
But it
like,
also makes
I
it-
listen to like the first 4 songs on New Music Friday.
Yeah.
and that's about all I listen to every week.
You just kind of reminded me how much better the world was without like pre-Spotify. It's like convenience over, it's like quantity over quality. Like
Yeah.
music used to be like more of a thing to me, but now I just like it's just like bam, I have it. Someone asked me to put on Wet Ass Pussy, I've got it. Like it's just never a thing,
That's why I wouldn't say rediscovered my love for music. 'Cause I was never like. I mean, I guess according to Dante, I never thought of myself that way, but according to him, I was like the music guy, despite him being a DJ. I was like, yeah,
Maybe you should be the music guy.
I was doing your fucking job for you. But the like the records and albums have made it more fun.
You fucking hipster.
Like I'll sit there and like I'll look because all the lyrics are in it and there's like
Yeah.
cool artwork and stuff like that.
Yeah.
and it's because more just tangible. Like when my dad asked me that question, he's asked me that before, and I was like, dude, I couldn't even tell you 3 songs on like my favorite album. Like I could.
Well, but the ones you have vinyl on, you could.
I could do better at it. Yes,
Yeah.
but like Juice WRLD's like one of my favorite albums of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know 4 songs on it.
Right.
Just the title of it.
Right. You would know
Like,
it if you heard it. You sing the lyrics and shit, but you don't know
Right.
what it is. Yeah.
God damn. Yeah, I'm thinking of it right now. I don't know if I could name 4 songs on that album. I've listened to that song album 100 times.
Right.
But it's just in my pocket.
That's why it's
so-
like kind of ruined. Yes, it's made it convenient, but lessened like its special uniqueness or whatever. So then on that note, I'll just stick with it.
Stick with
I'll just go
Spotify?
with Spotify. Yeah.
Okay.
I was about to say I thought there was maybe a porn app, but I still just go on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last pick for fights.
Okay, number 5, Google Calendar. If it wasn't for Google Calendar, I would be absolutely lost every single day of my life. It's like a weird thing, I guess, where like this stage of our lives now where like we have interviews and like
Yeah.
I don't know, things to do.
Responsibility.
Right, like
Yeah.
where it's just like that there was so much time where it was just wake up blog. That's it. And like
Yeah.
I didn't need a calendar for that because
Right.
I don't
It just
I
happens every day,
it's-
all day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
every day, bro.
Right. When there's
Well,
nothing, when your life doesn't change, a calendar doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
But now, like, every night before, like, the last thing I do is check my calendar.
Mm.
First thing I do when I wake up is check my calendar. I don't even really check email that much anymore.
Oh, I never check email. That's bad. I'm still getting
it's-
emails. The world didn't stop. Breaking news. The world did not stop sending emails. I just stopped checking. And I used to never miss an email. Like texting is the new email. If you need me, you have to text me because I'm
Yeah.
not logging in.
Texting is a new email, and that's why I hate texting.
Yeah, because it's the way to get you. It's
Because texting is 100% new email, and I think it's like an old-fashioned thing to do. I'm back on calling. Call me.
know.
You want to talk? Call me. Don't fucking text me.
But I don't-
I'll
I don't wanna
always
talk.
I'll read your text. I'm just not gonna reply unless it's like something pressing.
You're such a little. You're such a catty little bitch.
Why?
You can text me. I'm just not gonna reply.
Well, but like if it doesn't deserve a reply, I'm not gonna reply.
Right,
Just to have a
just to
conversation.
do it.
Right.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm like I'll read
I'll
it.
let
I'll
this conversation end right fucking now. Yeah,
But people always say like the first thing they do when they check their phone is check Twitter, or the first thing they do when they wake up is check Twitter or their email. Or the first thing I do every time I wake up is check my Google Calendar to find out what I have to do that day.
Your list is so responsible.
I know,
know?
which is like
Very, very
because
funny,
they're
very
the
opposite.
only things that keep
I got
me alive.
fucking apps and shit. Like you're like these are things that come stock on the phone because it's a necessity. Steve Jobs was like every motherfucker needs these.
Yeah, it is.
There's a reason why. There's a reason why they come loaded.
They're what keep me alive.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that like without alarm clock, Google Calendar, and Maps, I would be fired and homeless.
Yeah.
That's just a fact.
Fact.
That's just a fact.
Yeah. Those literally saved your life. Yeah.
I'd be the guy
mean-
doing chin-ups, fucking people's faces.
All right, let's get into our. Oh man, you know what? I just looked at this sheet and I'm just thinking about because Akon's on later and thinking about like scouring for old music, like finding an Akon song. That's like mining a Bitcoin. Bro. And if you found an Akon joint first, I mean, you had clout. You had social clout. Like,
Dude,
did you hear the new Akon?
What's
Oh
the
my
What's the
God.
best song you ever taught people about?
Ooh, that's a great question. Oh, I actually have a fucking answer ready to rock.
What do you have?
When I used to go to the bar when I was like 15 or 16 years old, we used to go to this place called Scholars on North Avenue. And it was the best. And they let all these kids in. It was like $10 all you can drink. And it had really fucking good DJ. I don't even know who this dude was. Honestly, if you DJ'd at Scholars on North Avenue from like 2001 to 2005, get at me because you're probably the best DJ in the fucking world. He played, Usher and Lil Jon.
Oh yeah.
Like real early. And we were all like, what the fuck is this shit? And so I guess I never like found that one because I heard it at a bar. But I remember like when it started to like pop off, we were like, oh yeah, like we know this shit, which is the best feeling in the world. Ones that I found, there's definitely a couple. What did I find? There was two like in the right back to back. Tayo Cruz.
Oh, Fast
Dynamite.
Car.
No,
Dynamite. Fast Car is my favorite Tayo Cruz song. But
No, is that Tayo Cruz? But Dynamite was the big one.
yeah.
And right around then, Flo Rida did Club Can't Handle Me Right Now. And those two came out and were just like the fucking party songs. And we had that so early. I felt like a rock star just having. Could you imagine making that music? Like just finding it, I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm a man." Imagine if I sang it.
Dude, this one, I'm gonna play it. This one, we were going to maybe Atlantic City. We were going to a blackout show, and I was doing the aux cord in the car, and Dave was with us, and Dave was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was like,
I can't even think of what genre this is gonna be because of that.
It's like pop EDM, and
Am I gonna know it just by hearing it, or is it? Still
I don't
like,
think
is it still like
so.
a diamond in the rough sort of thing?
I think I don't know. I wouldn't say a diamond in the rough because it's the Wanted. It's like a pretty popular like boy band.
Yeah,
kinda
I
deal,
remember that,
But it's like a remix.
Yeah.
And like Dave was like, Dante, this goes in the set tonight.
Wow.
It was like, and then it fucking burned the place down. But this song, oh.
These fucking boy bands. Yeah, I still don't think I know this. This music had such a period. It had such a run. Every song sounded exactly like this, but they were all bangers. Yeah, I mean, this is just like
Yo, this is
MDMA, sex, booze, let's go. Happy living. Yep. No problems. I don't have an alarm clock. I don't have a Google Calendar. Nothing matters. When the beat's going to drop, we're going to fuck. God. To be young again.
this is making me feel better. This song fucking fucks.
That gummy bear is just ripping out of your ass. So be careful. Be careful. Be careful.
Woo! What a jam! This makes me. This
What's it called?
Heart Vacancy.
This is hard. It's a remix of Heart Vacancy?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know Heart Vacancy, but it doesn't sound like this. Look at these little fucks. Look at these little fuckers.
Yeah.
These are just TikTok boys.
Right,
They just didn't have an app. What a bunch of fucking. Yeah.
I mean, it's an absolute jam. I literally feel significantly better than I did.
That's why.
5
That's
minutes
why.
ago.
At the end of the day, I'll put Spotify on because music can do that.
Oh God, it does. It does. It can absolutely change your mood for sure.
Let's do a little voicemails. It's brought to you by Pod Sites. Pod Sites, the leading podcast attribution partner. We use them here at Barstool, and here's what they do. They measure podcast downloads to on-site visits, so you can see how many people are converting and actually downloading your podcast based on the website they're visiting. They provide marketers with insights and true return on investment on their podcast campaigns. So whether you're a brand who wants to sponsor a podcast, whether you're just trying to simply get the word out about your product, whether you want to grow your business and drive sales, Pod Sites can help you do all those things and leave you feeling more confident about investing the next time around. What makes it so great is that it takes the guesswork out of podcast advertising. Podcasts have been like the Wild West for so long now. It's like, you know, how many downloads did you get? Our downloads have changed drastically over the years by literally the hundreds of thousands based on who was counting them. So the whole thing has kind of been all over the map, and you don't know what rate to pay, you don't know what you're going to get, and that's what PodSites does. They kind of make it uniform and give you a real insight to actually how it's performing and what your advertising is going to do. Marketers will get more accurate insights on whether listeners are actually getting exposure to their ad reads, and which is the most important thing. That's what we do over here. You motherfuckers keep listening to those ad reads. You guys don't even know when I'm doing ad reads. So go to podsites.com to learn more. That's PODSIGHTS, podsites.com to learn more. Let's do a little voicemail.
Yo, KFC Feits. What's up, guys? I was just listening to your episode with Steve-O, and he was talking about when he got paid $200 to eat the goldfish, and one of my buddies actually did that, but he did that for free. And I was just wondering what Steve-O, like jackass stuff, would you do for free?
Oh,
and what would you do?
Eat a flaming hot
for
gummy
money?
bear. Apparently. Apparently. I'm not big on this shit. That's why, I mean, I was really dreading that because I don't do these things usually. I was never the the party, like this guy's gonna jump off the fucking roof or like he's gonna set something on fire, like everybody look and watch. I was always like, I'll watch the guy do that.
I'm somewhere in between.
Yeah, you are. I can, you know.
I would do it occasionally, but it wasn't like I was the guy to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there is like that guy who does it. I wasn't
Right.
that guy, but I would join.
I
Sometimes.
remember thinking that like when Old School came out, I remember thinking there are Frank the Tanks in this world.
Mhm.
There are Mitch Martins in this world. There are what's Vince Vaughn's character?
I forget.
Bernard. Bernie, whatever. Whatever. But you get my point.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, I'm a Mitch Martin. Like, I'm in the crew, but I'm not going to be known for, like, the partying. I'm not, like, I'll have my moments like Mitch did, but I'm not going to be, like, the guy, you know?
I wonder. I don't know which one of those three I am. I'm like again. I'm like a mix. I think I'm a mix of a Mitch and a Frank.
Yes. Because Vince Vaughn is, like, the guy in your crew who, like, rents the house and plans the party and like,
Right.
you know, he's like, we're gonna have sand in this place, boy band ass, all that shit. He's actually responsible. He doesn't use his responsibility for good, but he's like, I'll get this shit done for you guys. Frank's just like a belligerent drunk, and Mitch is like kind of like the timid, like I'm with the cool guys, I'm hanging out, but like I'm not really the center of attention.
Yeah.
So that's definitely you together, like the belligerent drunk mixed with like the shyness. You just don't have the ambition of Vince Vaughn there. But like, you know, those like Frank, like he's gonna do the beer bong, like come on, we're going streaking, like all that shit. I was like, no. I mean, you might end up in bed with me. I'm Mitch Martin. Like, it's not good, but it's not gonna be like, you know, wow, look at this guy. And that's what those. I mean, all those jackass stunts are that, like intention craving lunacy.
Yeah. I the answer, which ones would I do right now? I don't even really remember. I would do like the paper cuts.
That would be the last one on my list.
You
would let me paper cut your lip?
I guess I forgot about the lips.
You would let me paper cut in between your fingers? With a manila folder?
Now that you're
no, you would
holding me
not.
to it,
No,
I don't want
I mean, I
to.
just got the chills all over again. The gummy bear's coming back. That is arguably the worst thing that they did.
Yeah, but like it's like I can do that. So I can deal with pain. I have a high tolerance for pain.
Yeah.
I
watched
can't deal
Nick,
with gross.
Nick, I watched a bee fly and land on John's hobbit feet, and it crawled like in and out of his toes. And I was about to be like, yo, like, dude, you got a fucking bee on your foot. And then it flew away, and John's foot was bleeding. And he was just like, nah, that bee bit me. And I was like, it stung you. It didn't bite you. And his toe was bleeding, and he didn't flinch. He didn't move. He didn't break stride in the conversation. It's like, something's wrong with this fucking guy. Something's wrong with you.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So, yeah, I guess I could give you paper cuts in between your toes. You wouldn't feel shit, apparently.
I don't know why. Like, it's not like I lived like a hard life, but I've just always had a pretty high tolerance for pain. But so
it's when your parents wouldn't take you to the hospital for the broken ankle. That's when it started. That's what it was.
But like the gross out stuff, I couldn't do. I couldn't do any
Drink
like,
things, eat things.
yeah,
like,
that stuff
all
I
that
couldn't
stuff.
do. I
The
can take a beating, but
Yeah.
I can't do like the like I don't know, like have shit flying around me.
the be in the porta potty with the bungee cords.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I can't do any of it. I'm not going to eat anything. I'm not going to take a beating. I don't want to take any small beatings. I don't want to take any big beatings. All of it would cost money. I'm not doing any of that for free. Everything would cost a lot of money. Drink a goldfish, like $10,000 minimum.
That much?
Maybe not. Yeah. I mean, you know, you put the money on the table, we can figure it out. But
Right. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've done the goldfish too. By the way, like
your brother. Can I tell the story?
Yeah, you can tell whatever you want.
Bro, Benny Feits we're sitting on this fucking tennis court, and this gigantic, I guess like cicada.
Yeah, probably.
It looked like a cockroach with wings, so like a cicada, whatever, is crawling on the ground at us. And he's clearly got a busted wing, so he can't fly anymore. And we're like, Benny's like hanging out with them. Somebody nicknamed him George. It was like he's part of the crew now. And Benny like puts his hand down, and this fucking thing crawls up on it. And Benny's like playing with it and looking at it and put it on his beer can. It looked like the guy was drinking beer. We were joking around like we got a new member of the crew. And then someone was like, eat it. And he just fucking did it. It took one person saying eat it, and it was like I thought he faked it. I thought he was so slick with it that he like threw it or like put it down, and we didn't. And he just like chomped a couple times and then was like, I'm done with it. And I was like, you didn't really fucking do that, did you? And one of his sisters was filming it and had it on slow mo. I mean, this was a chunky.
Yeah.
This was not like a little, like, you know, he just chomped on a dry, what are those, like freeze-dried crickets.
Yeah.
No. Chocolate grasshopper. No. This was a juicy, chunky, proteiny, Hakuna Matata, Timon and Pumbaa fucking bug. And he just...
This was
with the smallest amount of peer pressure. It was insane.
We were born in that though. That used to be our punishment for losing beer pong. You had to eat moss, and it was.
Well, yeah, then that makes sense that he ate a moth. You guys have been doing this for years?
Oh, forever. Yeah, it was like
I mean, what the fuck is wrong with you, Feidelberg?
you had to suck a moth off the wall if you lost beer pong. And
What? How many moths were there?
dude, Graham's house has like tons of moths all on one side of the house. Like it's like there are lights, and it was always at Graham's house, and it was like.
But that's one of those. I'm not downplaying it, but it was one of those like moths that fly to a flame, like not like a big thick one. Right?
Oh no, big
thick one.
Big,
Oh,
like there were times where like it would still be fluttering in your mouth, and you like try and chew it fast.
What is it, John? The question we just did was like, which of the jackass things? And you're like, I can take a beating. You used to eat the
Yeah,
moths.
that's a bug. That's a bug. I can eat a bug, no problem. But it was like, when you would lose and you like, and, like if you like got like run off the table and you had to like find a big one, and it was like, this is gonna suck. And you call it sucking moss, and you had to.
I mean, don't take a fucking
so you had to go up the
rocket science to
wall,
figure that one out.
And you're like, boy, here we go. You're like,
Oh my God.
and you try and chew as fast as you can.
That is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. That is so gross.
It was really gross.
I
yeah.
learned so much about true love this weekend, though. His girlfriend was like, "That is fucking disgusting." Like, we're never hooking up again. And like a minute later, she grabs him and just put a big kiss on his mouth. I was like, that's a woman right there. God, that is disgusting.
Yeah,
Feidelberg.
so gross.
That is some shit. Like even when
It
I
was like we not only did we used to do it all the time for beer pong, but then like later in life we like
Other
use it
things.
to like initiate people into the like you're not in our crew unless you fucking
Oh my God,
unless
I
you
would
eat them off.
never be in your crew. Like, fuck your crew. I'm gonna go find a crew that doesn't play the game sucking moths. That's the crew I want to roll with. The guys who don't suck moths. Shit. Actually, I'm in perfect position right now. I don't want to jinx that because you guys are just gonna get bad ideas. Joining like late in life when people are done sucking moths, joining a sucking moth crew is a great idea because y'all are fucking hilarious. But I'm not trying to suck any moths. Link up with them when they're done with their sucking moth phase. Shit, that's gross. Next fucking question. Add that to the list of like, I can't believe that took 10 years.
What's up, KFC, Feits, super producer DC? Got a little Am I the Asshole for you. So, am I the asshole for making fun of my girlfriend for not having an asshole? So what I mean by that is she has ulcerative colitis. So basically that means she had to have her rectum removed.
Yeah.
She had a colostomy bag for a little while, got that removed, so we're all good there. But I saw a meme on Instagram, and it was a guy that had like a snowball above his head, and it was like going to throw it at a girl, and it said above him, it said my dick, and then above her it said her ass. And I sent it to her, and I said, this could be us, but you don't have a rectum. And she thought it was funny. She laughed at it. She has, so that was good, but kind of felt like a dick afterwards. So I wanted to know, am I the asshole for making fun of my girlfriend for not having an asshole?
Well, all right. When he started,
What does this mean? I gotta Google this real quick. What is this called? Like she strip doesn't have an asshole?
yeah, I mean, I think if you get your like, if you have a colostomy bag, that means like, you take like your colon and everything out, and I think there's no reason to have a hole there anymore.
What was it called?
Ulcerative colitis.
I think this is it.
Yep. I mean, one of the top Google researches.
Yeah, I mean, that is, but you got to put in there like ulcerative colitis, no asshole, because like that's what we're looking at.
This is all like stuff like inside you. Like, does she have an asshole that you can have sex with?
You're just, that was my first thought. I was like, this you can't ever do anal sex. She could be an anal queen. If you have an asshole, but it's not like a functioning asshole, it's like, yeah, I don't know, go ahead, fuck me in that thing all day long, right?
Why? Oh, because you mean there's no like poop in it?
Yeah. Like, yeah, listen, obviously there's some uncomfortability there, but I think a lot of times people are worried about having a catastrophic shit event. If it's just like, yeah, that thing is fucking clean as a whistle because there's nothing in there
She
anymore.
definitely has an asshole.
I mean, I don't know.
Like, not having a rectum is different than not having an asshole.
Asshole, yeah. Like, do you have a hole? Does it just seal up after a while? Like, if you don't have an eye, your face just like grows over your eye hole.
What?
Yeah. If you lose your eye, you'll eventually just have like flesh over your eye hole.
What are you talking about?
I might have made that up.
So what do you like? God, I'm so
It
stupid.
might remove the opening in some cases.
I think so, yeah. Because it's like you don't need it anymore, so I just have
She just doesn't shit? Like, what? Like,
It goes into a bag. But then he said he's got rid of the bag,
he
so I
said-
don't know what happens there anymore. I know that, I mean, the colostomy bag is just like your organs are on your outside now, and it's in the form of a bag.
She definitely has to poop. Like, if
Well-
you don't have a colostomy bag, then like, where are you pooping?
I mean, I don't know. You barely do.
Yeah, till tonight. Once I get
This might have to be a callback. We haven't unveiled that again. We haven't unleashed that again. We might have to be like,
I don't
clarify. And by the way, when he started and was like, "Am I an asshole?" Like my girlfriend had a disease where she needed this removed, and that's about to be a very like harrowing experience for a girl.
Oh no, I disagree.
I started out being like, "Yeah, you're an asshole," and by the end of it, I was like, "That's pretty funny."
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
No, that's a good.
Good meme.
You can't be an asshole if you make a good joke.
Right.
That was a good
funny
joke.
is funny, and if she laughed at it initially, then that's the initial reaction. That judge is ruling. You're not an asshole.
100% not an asshole. Because I mean, yeah, funny just trumps all. If it was a bad joke, if it was just like, hey.
Well, or bad time. Like if she had just gotten the surgery, or she's had her bag sitting on her hip, and if someone's colostomy bag just spilled all over the restaurant floor or something, and you're like, "Hey, you don't have an asshole," probably not. Probably not the most tactful
I think that's
time.
the time you need to do it.
We gotta lighten the mood.
Sorry,
here.
everyone. She doesn't have an asshole. That's like gonna get up and announce it like fucking Mrs. Doubtfire. It's just like, all right, well, we're making a scene here. Let's really lean into it, I guess. Help is on the way.
Next.
Hey guys, this is Patrick from Louisiana.
Nobody cares.
Two quick things, one for each of you guys. First off, Feits, the sound clip of you talking about that vlog about Chris Berman, or about masturbating with Chris Berman. Literally never laughed harder in my life. I've sent that to every person I know. It is a shame that has like 3 fucking retweets at this point. Second, KFC, I've realized that at this point, I have started telling stories in the same way that you fucking tell these stories. And anyways, my question is, would you rather have everything for the rest of your life be insanely spicy, or for the rest of your life, you are starving no matter what you eat?
I mean, this is very
Love you,
apropos.
Fox.
I think this answer would have been different yesterday, and I think it's a changed one today.
No, I think it's mine's the same. It's spicy. I actually like spicy food. I just don't like things that are 900 million times hotter than a fucking jalapeno.
I think the caveat here has to be it's pretty spicy food.
It's pretty. Yeah, I like pretty spicy food. It's just again, not Kevin. The number was 900 million times. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Nothing in the world is 900 million times something else. That is just. I mean, I believe it based on how fucking hot it was, but 900
I'm
million?
pretty sure that's. I'm gonna go get a box. I'll be right back. Maybe
There's
I'm wrong.
no way it's 900 million. That's almost a billion, John. I would have said that's a billion times hotter than the hottest pepper. I think it was like a conversion issue. I think it's like 900 million on the scale, but that means it's only 9,000 times hotter. Whatever it was, it's ugly, but I don't think it's 900 million times hotter than the hottest pepper. That little motherfucking gummy bear, that little fucking thing, that little bitch, that thing packed such a fucking punch. It ruined an entire office.
He combined the two numbers.
Yeah, okay, there it is. What is it?
It's 900 times hotter than a jalapeno.
Which is
but
a million on the
it's-
scale?
Yeah, its Scoville rating is 9 million.
Okay. You combine some numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 900 times hotter, but its rating is a million on the Scoville.
So you just Googled that, huh?
Yeah. You didn't need to run.
Didn't need to run, huh? Yeah, it is. Okay. Signature 9 million Scoville unit chili extract, making it 900 times hotter than a
Dude,
jalapeno.
I literally get the chills just thinking about this and hearing about it. It rolls right down my fucking back.
What's the last dab? Because we have that in here.
Yeah, let me get the hot
I think
sauces.
it's right behind you. Maybe.
I was thinking about Sean Evans the whole time we did this, because like Sean, in one form or another, does this all fucking day, like for his show. That's his thing. The last dab from First We Feast. This is like the Hot Ones sauce. I don't know if it has like any information on it.
I'll Google it.
Yeah. Is it hotter?
Not even close.
Not even close. Yeah, I was gonna say I remember doing like a little finger of this, and I was like, this is not so bad
The Scoville rating is 2 million.
for this.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so that is higher, right?
What's the Scoville rating on this?
9.
What?
That's 9 million.
Yeah.
No, that's
Oh yeah, 9 million Scoville.
so. This is the little fucking bear is 4 times this.
Yeah.
4 and a little bit. I mean, I'm ready to drink this. I mean, this ain't shit now. Fuck you, Sean Evans. You ain't shit.
I mean, that's not gonna be fun.
Child's play. Totally regret that.
Yeah. Oh, you're big time gonna regret that.
Totally regret that. You still win, Sean. You win this time. But I mean, like nowhere close to that little fucking gummy bear. So if for me, if the caveat is like that it's uncomfortably hot, I don't know if I can do that. But the idea of always being hungry.
I mean, always hungry.
You're always hungry as it is.
But I'm also no.
You get pretty hangry. I don't know if I can deal.
That's what I mean.
I
I get really hangry. I'm
so
very irritable.
You'd have to pick the
Yeah.
For the rest of us, pick the spicy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who I hate.
And I'll tell you
who I
like
fucking
blatantly too. I'll be like, I'm being a dickhead. I know I'm just hungry.
You know who I fucking hate?
Who?
People who get hangry. Yeah, grow up. Yeah, it's a couple hours past feeding time.
Unlike Michael Scott in the
You're like a child is what you are.
The Survivor Man episode where he's like, been 4 hours since my last meal. Starting to feel it.
I remember like with little kids being like, "Oh my god, it's 15 minutes past feeding time. It's gonna be a problem." Same thing with this fat baby over here. What an asshole!
But I say like
you do own
like,
up to it, so that
I'm like
counts.
just like I'm
The
just
worst are
leave me alone.
girls who just don't realize it. They're like, I just don't know what's wrong. It's like, bitch, you haven't had some fucking cheese in a couple hours. You haven't had your fucking tapas or whatever your stupid meal that is on the Instagram right now.
Your tapas. I fucking hate tapas.
The
dude.
worst.
Fuck it.
I think we're over. I think the world's over tapas.
I think so too.
I think that phase.
I think tapas
I think
had
people
a
caught
run.
on to it. They're like, this is a racket.
It's just so annoying.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta get 7 meals right now.
Yeah,
I have a
fuck
hard time locking down.
Oh no, no,
one.
but don't worry, they're cheaper. Yeah, they're not. No, they're like $16 each.
Right.
It's like, yeah, it's $10 cheaper than an entree, but I have to order 10 of them. So let's do the math on that one, you dumb fucks. Fuck tapas. Last voicemail of the day is brought to you by Shady Rays. This is one of the best offers you'll ever get. One of the most important ones, because when you have sunglasses, you inevitably lose them. You inevitably break them. Somebody steals them. Somebody sits on them. You lose them in the ocean, in the water, when you're drunk.
My sunglasses are in your car, by the way.
Yep, they are.
Okay.
See how easy that was? You lost them already. I shouldn't have done that fucking hot sauce.
I knew that was gonna be a mistake.
Yep.
I wasn't gonna join you on that journey. I was
it
like,
was
nah,
terrible.
He's gonna regret that.
There's only a little bit though. And usually you're shit out of luck. You got to buy another pair. Doesn't matter how expensive, whatever. They might not have them. You may never be able to replace them. Shady Rays will give you the best warranty in the sunglasses industry, bar none. Replacements for any pair of sunglasses that are lost or broken. Lifetime craftsmanship warranty. That's just you know what that is? That's an idiot warranty. That's just like, that has nothing to do with sunglasses. Maybe if you break them. If they're flimsy and they break, it's like, listen, that's our bad. We should have made them stronger. This is like, you're going to go to the bar drunk, and you're going to take them off and put them down and leave them there, and we will buy another pair for you. That's ridiculous. These guys have got to be losing money. You know how many drunk idiots there are in this world?
That's true. But it's actually one of the few things that I'm good at is not. I didn't lose my sunglasses. I didn't intentionally leave them in your car, but I knew where I left them.
Yeah.
I get like a new pair of sunglasses like every 3 years. That's a pretty good.
And
run.
you get a new wallet and a new phone every like 3 months.
No, there was a time in my life.
I
like
mean,
that,
we had a house-wide manhunt for your wallet this weekend.
Yeah, but we found it.
Yeah. You didn't. It was you lost it.
Yeah, it would. I would have found it at some point.
It was just in my car.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, it was in a tricky spot, but it was just in my car. But with Shady Rays, you can be a drunk asshole, you can be an idiot, you can be reckless, you can be doing some jackass stunts, whatever it is. You lose them or you break them, they will replace them. They're like quality. They're cool. They're on trend. They're nice materials. And they're also a company that gives back. They give 10 meals to fight hunger in America with every order you place. They've given out over 9.4 million meals to date. They have free returns and exchanges. I mean, what more do you need to go buy these fucking sunglasses? Right now. Oh, and to top it all off, we're doing a BOGO. A good old BOGO. Buy one, get one.
Let's see
So you go to
BOGO.
shadyrays.com, use the promo code KFC, and you get 50% off 2 pairs or more. That means you can get 2 pairs of sunglasses for $48. And theoretically, that'll be the last one you ever buy.
Right.
You spend $48 and get 2 pairs, and you'll have those 2 pairs or a replacement pair for the rest of
Forever.
your life. So why
Forever.
not? shadyrays.com, promo code KFC. Last voicemail. Let's go.
Speaking of our callbacks.
Hi guys, it's the 8-Minute Wonder over from Philly here.
I know where this is going. I feel
just
bad.
listened to the latest pod and got a little triggered by the girl that was faking her English accent. I was born in England and went through speech therapy when I moved to America, so in order to lose my accent because my kindergarten teacher thought that was important. So spotting a fake English accent is like the easiest thing for me to do. And I literally lost my mind when she called. And when she said the bartender looked at her with big wide eyes and was impressed, it was probably because he was looking at her with big wide eyes because she sounded fucking ridiculous. Anyway, this brought me to the conclusion of my question. What is the worst thing you've done for someone's attention? Or people's attention. I just got my Snapchat memory of a year ago. I was bartending and was dancing on the bar and obviously drinking too much and walked off the bar dancing on the bar trying to get tips and walked off the bar and took the stool down with me and broke 2 ribs. So obviously I have no room to talk when it comes to trying to get attention and failing miserably. But if you're going to do a British accent, just know that us Brits can tell the difference. Fights, keep up the good work, though. I appreciate yours.
Fights, you can't tell the difference in yours, though.
No, mine's perfect.
That's a pro.
That's flawless. I'm like Daniel Day-Lewis.
I feel like doing... no, I was going to say something that's dead wrong, I think. My thought was going to be that this is more of a girl thing for guys, but guys,
No.
guys do.
Mine is probably a podcast twice a week. What do I do? That's the worst thing for attention.
Broadcast all my deep personal thoughts to the world for no reason other than showering attention and a paycheck. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. It's, every tweet I
mean,
send.
every social media post,
Yep.
all that stuff. Yeah, buy like 50,000 pairs of sneakers. Like I was thinking of it as like romantic attention. Like I don't think I've ever done anything over the top stupid for a girl. To like woo a girl. I know a girl who jumped off a fucking cliff for a guy.
Oh. I know that girl. I don't. Yeah, I guess I don't.
I mean,
really
you could
have-
say like, I've definitely
I jumped off a waterfall once skiing to impress a girl. Did not.
this
care
wasn't
at
really
all.
to like impress. One time I was on vacation, and this is really not the stoop, like the weirdest, like the most extreme lengths I've ever gone to for something. Can you stop it? Can you please stop it? John is whittling a pencil right now. Dumb big baby. He's angry. The silliest thing I ever did with involving a chick. I was on vacation from work. It was still when I was at Deloitte. And I just wanted to hook up with this girl, but I didn't want to hang out with her at all. And I told her that I had to go to work, and I had a lunch break, so I put on work clothes and went there, and and then I just went home, and I was like, this was a lot. I got ready for work to go down there, but that was not woo her. That was just I didn't want to woo her. But I don't think I've ever done the I guess in high school, just hanging around friend zones chicks, crying, letting them cry about the guy's dick they were sucking. That was pretty bad. I never did the fucking hold the speaker up at the window and I love you gestures, but I've definitely given attention to girls that were not interested in me.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have done that.
But
as
I
well.
haven't done the movie cliche things, is my point.
No, I there's never been I don't think so.
What's the male equivalent of dancing on the bar? You know what I mean? When you're out, there's not maybe have you ever I could do this shot or I can chug this or whatever.
No, 'cause I can usually do that stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's
Well, I don't. I'm like Kevin James. I
should be good.
Kevin, in Hitch. I stay in my lane.
yeah.
I don't often do things that.
Well,
would
that's
be,
what's funny is what works with girls is not giving them attention and not doing things for attention. But you can't do it too much because then you're an asshole. So when you stay in that zone is when you probably find some success.
I haven't had much.
Yeah, I mean you say that, but more than the average fucking dude who's showing up with flowers and chocolates, thinking some grand gesture is going to work. When in reality, that's probably making that girl puke in her mouth.
That's probably true.
You know?
Yes, because I do know a person such as that, and yeah,
it just doesn't work.
It doesn't. Work. It never works.
And it's a shame. It should. It doesn't. It doesn't.
Right.
I've long
You're a
said,
much better person.
Nice
than me.
guy. What I say a couple weeks ago? Nice guys don't always finish last, but the asshole always finishes first.
Okay.
So like you can do all that, and you might find the girl, and then you're probably wonderfully in love if you do those things and you find the girl who enjoys that. But the average dude who's like, I'm not buying you chocolates and flowers. I'm gonna just spit in your mouth tonight. She's like, oh my god, you know. I mean, Jackie? Didn't you even say this when you first came on? That you're just attracted to like assholes who are in frats?
She actually went to class.
Yeah.
But you said the flowers thing, and I just had a time hop thing pop up.
Oh no, I can see you being a big romantic gesture guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I'm gonna get texts about this. I already know it.
Just get out ahead of this one.
Yeah, no, I definitely was drunk and thought I picked these flowers to put in this girl I work with mailbox, and they were weeds. They were trash weeds.
Wait, did you say it's a girl you work with now?
No. This was back in Iowa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you just put like dandelions and fucking like trash in their
yeah,
fucking.
pretty much. But yeah, no, that's,
When keeping it romantic goes wrong, that's fucking hilarious.
that was known as a total Nick move amongst.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Pull the Nick. I wish I had a better answer. I wish I did something, stupid once.
Yeah, I really got nothing. I don't think I've ever been like.
I mean, you're talking to just the two most apathetic people of all time. One time, I got one. But it really worked like really well. So, I mean, who's really the loser here? A girl left her heels at a bar. Like she changed into like flip-flops or something like that. And I went and got them. And we were supposed to hang out later. And I showed up with them. And I mean, it worked to perfection. But I had to like go all the way downtown and get like to this bar that was like barely open. And they had to give me.
I don't think that's a crazy. Like I think it's like
a nice gesture. I went above and beyond. I went out of my way.
But it's not like.
But I think that's where I think you want to live.
Yeah.
I don't want to come across here as like, don't ever do nice things for girls. Like, fuck that. Like, especially if you want to like, I actually do mean that if you're just trying to fuck. If you want to like be in a relationship or just have like a nice fucking some sort of cordial relationship with a person, even if you're hooking up with them, do some nice things for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
that's definitely a good way to go.
But I think like the things from the movies are like from the movies. They're not really real. It's like this girl was like, "Fuck, I forgot my shoes there last night." I was like, "Oh,
I'll grab them."
Yeah, just like a nice thing, and she appreciated it, and then I did too. So let us know what's the most embarrassing thing you ever did. Let's get into our interviews. We'll start with Akon. I don't want to spoil it, but I feel like I just need people to understand this so you listen. Akon has created a city, okay? He's created a city. He's called it Akon City. It sounds like something from Arrested Development, like Joe Bluth, like, check your rent, man, because you're living on Fuck Mountain. Like, you're living in Akon City, and it's just not yet, but it's going to be a fully functioning, modernized, it's Wakanda. And he explains this on the interview, but he's building Wakanda in real life. Akon might be the most impressive, like 20-minute, like from having one conversation with a person, I've never been more impressed than this. From going from like, I thought you were just a great singer, I'm already impressed with you, to going to like, can you run America for me, please? Because you are
you said that
fucking
as soon as the interview finished, you just texted, yo, I'm voting for Akon.
He's got my vote. And as you'll hear, it's really not even that big of a joke. Akon is brought to you by Babbel. Learning a new language is something I feel like learning a language is something that like everybody at one point is. I mean, you did it in quarantine. You were going to learn Spanish. Yeah. I had a friend who was just committed to learning Mandarin. Never did. He learned like 3 words. He just runs around going, ni hao, wo shi li shi mao. And nobody knows what that means. So it's definitely one of those things. If you know it, if you do speak multiple languages, you could be as dumb as a box of rocks. But if you speak like multiple languages, you're impressive.
I mean,
I actually don't think you can be like. I don't think you can learn that many languages if you are dumb.
Yeah, no, for
right?
sure.
Like you have to have like the aptitude. So either way, learning a new language is as cocky as it gets. Ain't easy though, unless you get something like Babbel, where they make it simple to learn a new language, gets rid of all the intimidation. Learning it when you're young is easy because that's when your brain is working. Relearning new shit when you have old habits and other languages in your brain is you're gonna hit a lot of roadblocks. Gonna be a big problem, and that's what Babbel fixes. It's proven to get you speaking a language within weeks. Think about that. You could have learned
Really?
You could have learned Spanish and French and Italian by now. Babbel designs their courses
Babbel
Real world conversation in mind, letting you learn every day with practical conversations. That's always good too. Like I remember hearing,
I had the worst idea ever on how to learn. Like, by the way,
you were just gonna read 2 books, one in English, one in
What the? Fuck?
They were about like vampires and shit too, right?
It was like it was like
stupid.
I googled like best young adult novels. I have like a basic grasp of Spanish, so I wanted like I didn't want to read a children's book.
So you did young adult
novels, and like it's like I don't even remember what it's
like,
about.
all right, so you would have learned like, the vampires are in the back having sex. Like, is that useful? I mean, the joke is always like, el gato as hamburguesa en mi pantalones, and it's like, it's like, why don't you just fucking learn real shit that we need to say to other people? And that's what Babbel does. Daily lessons from 10 to 15 minutes. They'll teach you words and phrases. Sentences get more gradually complex. Pretty soon, before you know it, you're practicing short combos. And these lessons are created by over 100 language experts. They're using speech recognition technology. It helps improve your pronunciation and accent. You can choose from 14 languages: Spanish, French, Spench. That's a new one. Spench. It's Spanish and French mixed together. You heard about this?
No.
Yeah, there's like these regions in Europe where it's like they're very close together. So like French people and Spanish people have been living like in very close quarters, and the languages started to blend together. So there's like a new one just called Spench. It's like
really?
No, I made it all up.
Oh,
it worked though. It sounds pretty convincing,
yeah,
right?
I believe you.
Right?
I mean, they're very similar languages. They
basically are Spench. Yeah.
Romantic languages?
Yeah,
Portuguese,
Italian,
French, Spanish.
Portuguese is the one that I would want to learn, because when someone says like I speak French, I think you're like, okay, you're an asshole. Speak Spanish, it's like, yeah, so does everyone else.
Right.
Speak Italian, I hate you because you're a guinea. You speak Portuguese, and I'm like, oh yeah, this guy, he's got some shit. 14 different ones to choose from though. I don't think I would choose to learn German.
Just sounds angry.
Yeah.
Well, who was it? I forget
that's still got a little bit of a branding issue.
Yeah.
German,
I forget the name of the comedian. He's so fucking funny. But he's got a bit where he's talking about doing a show in Germany or whatever, and he's like, and he's an Irish guy, and he's like, I just feel so bad for the Germans because they'll be telling you something where like, things are going great here. We have the economy is going amazing. We are doing this and that, and he's like, and the whole time you're just going, Hitler.
Holocaust. By the way, we remember like a while back we were talking about who might be named Adolf.
Yes.
So Tim Dillon was on Joe Rogan, and that topic came up, and they researched it, and I think it was from the year 2006. So it's a little bit dated, but there was 13 Adolfs in the world.
I know one of them.
And Tim was like, how good of a Netflix documentary would that be? Just call it The 13 Adolfs, and you just follow around these 13 people and just be like, what's your life?
Oh, yeah.
Having the name of a fucking genocidal maniac. The 13 Adolfs would put asses in the fucking seats. You know what else puts asses in the seats? Let me finish this up real quick. Babbel.com, Babbel.com. Promo code KFC. Get 3 additional months for free with the promo code KFC. That's Babbel, Babbel.com. Promo code KFC. 3-month subscription. Get 3 additional months for free. Start learning those languages. Become learned and sexy, because people like that. Project Power, John.
You were texting about it last night, right?
So I got home last night. I dropped you guys off, and I went right to Kaylin's. I went right to Shay and Keegan. And I'm not, they don't like watch TV with me. I'm like the fun one, So they play with me. And they used to play hide and seek. Hide and seek's all right, because I would go hide, and they're dumb. I would legitimately hide. Like when my mom plays with them, she puts like a blanket over her head, and she's just standing in you know what I mean? When I hide, I'm like in the back of the closet. I'm like, you motherfuckers ain't finding me for 15 minutes. Daddy's on Twitter, okay? So hide and seek I can deal with. They have learned tag.
Oh, boy.
They want to play tag now. And I'm like, I am not here for wind sprints. I am not here for lane slides. We are not shuffling the feet, kids.
See, I actually disagree, because I love nothing more than juking a fucking child out of their pants. I'm like, you'll be like, why aren't you in the NFL? Like, when I fuck with a kid, I'm like, buddy, you're not touching me. I'll spin move around you. I'll fucking hard step.
You're it forever, dude.
Right.
You're never getting me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was tired. I was hungover. We had like a 5-hour drive in traffic. Then I go to the kids, and they're just being jerks, and they want me to throw them on the bed. I'm like, I can barely lift you people up. I'm like, I said to Casey, I was like, these kids are gonna have to learn who their dad is. They're gonna have to like read up on some blogs and listen to some podcasts and learn their dad's limitations. Okay, like you want we can have witty conversation, Shay. Physical labor ain't my thing. So tired as fuck. I get home, and I am like, it's like 7:30, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to bed, I think. But I'm like, you know when you have like, it's almost like too hungover, too tired, you're overtired.
Oh yeah.
So I get home to a fresh new sheet of Half-C's cookies, and I see Project Power on Netflix. I didn't know anything about Project Power. I don't think they did a good job marketing this one. I did not know this was coming.
Yeah, I saw like one screenshot of a scene of
the
JGL
Lights Camera had Joseph Gordon-Levitt in, and I remember that. He was promoting Project Power.
Oh, really?
So
that was like the beginning of quarantine.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
I'm sure, like anything else, they started talking about Inception and all this other shit.
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
now that I saw it, I'm like, y'all motherfuckers should talk about Project Power. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Jamie Foxx, MGK, and then the other ones you don't really know, but they're good. It's like Limitless. Limitless was just Adderall. This is Limitless on steroids. Like you turn these pills to activate them, and you take them, and it gives you like a superpower for 5 minutes. Or your head explodes. You don't know. You don't know. It's kind of like doing cocaine these days. Like, you might die of fentanyl. You might have a great night. We don't know. So it's there. I mean, within the first 15 minutes, a person explodes. There's a great, type of, this honestly should have been, Jamie Foxx does a good job. Should have been Denzel. This is right in Denzel's wheelhouse of like man who needs to redeem himself with family sort of thing. Which, by the way, I'm on White Sox Dave's side on that argument, which is not a phrase I like to say, but I mean, Denzel does, he's done other movies where he does show range, but like 9 out of 10, you're getting like angry dude who's like good heart but will kill you for the right reasons.
I mean, I think he has the ability to do range. I think he just likes doing a certain kind of movie.
Yeah, and
like John
awesome.
Q. John Q.
But like John Q is the same as like Man on Fire, basically.
I don't know if I agree with that.
It's like man with a righteous cause taking matters into his own hands.
Yeah.
And then it deviates a little bit from there. But like the basic idea is always like,
I mean, Flight, he's got tons of range too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't do it, but like the dude from Training Day is basically the same dude from American Gangster, which morphs kind of into Man on Fire, which becomes a little more family man. It's like a range in it.
You haven't even gotten to Equalizer yet.
And then Equalizer is the same exact as Out of Time, I think, right? Or Out of Time is the exact same as Man on Fire.
Out of Time, I don't remember.
Out of Time's like a bad version of one of those other movies. There's like time travel involved in that one or some shit. It's bad.
Is that one in New Orleans?
I think so. And it's got.
I like that one.
Of course you do.
But
it's got a hot chick in it. Even Mendez, maybe.
Yeah.
That one doesn't get much play because I think there's a reason.
I think it's a good one.
Of course
It's so weird. It's an insane concept.
Yeah. Isn't there some sort of time travel?
Yeah.
That's what's Out of Time. Yeah. But I think so. It goes like Training Day, Alonzo fades into Frank Lucas, fades into Man on Fire, which fades into John Q, which eventually you get to like the coach of Remember the Titans. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like a
but
fluid...
like even that, like I mean, Denzel's been at it for like 30 years, right? And you named 6 movies. Yes, those 6 are very similar, but I mean, he's done a lot of other movies.
Done a lot, but.
Maybe his more popular movies are those.
Yeah, his hits. But I also likened it to like when you have a 101 mile an hour fastball, you throw the fastball. Right. Anyway, Project Power, you'll like it. It's so good and bad. And also shout out to the Lights Camera guys who I believe launched what will be the definitive movie database on the internet.
It's very
I really mean that. Like,
have you fucked around on it?
I watched Jeff do it today. He pulled me over to his computer. Like Rotten Tomatoes, you go and you get the number and you get the audience and the critics who are assholes and that's it. Jeff has made this way to like, I mean, you can pick what services you have, which streaming services, which cable channels you have, what genre, within that genre, a subgenre, with what actors you want, with what directors you want that are rated this much or up by the audience from Lights Camera, and it generates every movie you need, like in a heartbeat.
It's actually something I talked about at the start of quarantine.
Having that. And then there's just a random one, but you just click random. Just give me a random movie.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, I don't even have to think anymore.
But like during, like, I didn't even know they were working on this or anything like that. And it wasn't like an idea I had. I just simply sent a tweet being like, hey, what are some late 90s, early 2000s,
Yeah, like a specific
shitty action movies?
Yes.
Because I'm on a kick right now.
Yeah.
And like this website would have been exceptionally helpful at that point.
Yes.
Like,
So what I'm gonna give them advice that they're not asking for. All their genres are like real genres, and all their subgenres are like a little bit less. They're a little bit more unorthodox, but they need like good bad movie, like shitty action movie, like mocking movies.
And they
almost.
weren't like the movies I was watching at the time weren't like bad movies. It was like fucking Proof of Life, which is almost like I think they're like almost underrated. Like Under Siege, I did.
But so that's when you could come up with like, I mean, I guess that's the kind of the idea of like
70s.
You know what they should do?
70s. Right.
I've always said my favorite movies, and this comes from Tomatoes, which I'll no longer be looking at because I got this lights camera database. They should find movies that the audience score and the critics score have a huge gap. Those are always awesome.
Yeah.
Those are the Saving Silvermans of the world.
Right.
It's like, if you want to enjoy a movie that would make a movie critic's head explode, here it is. So if they can add those in, but as they have it right now, you pull down tabs and it just generates within a millisecond all the different movies that you can recommend. It's got Jeff's ratings, Ken Jack's ratings, the audience ratings from Lights Camera Barstool. Very cool shit. So what is the? I don't even know the actual website that we should plug the actual address. I think it's just like moviedatabase.net or something like that, which is smart to just make it like, it's not like barstoolmovies.com where like you have to like the website. I think it's like
movierankings.net.
Done. It's like that's not affiliated with us. That's not, you know what I mean? No one's going to be like, oh, I'm not listening to that. It's just like, here is a website of movies, motherfuckers. Movies database? Movierankings.net. Go check it out. And all right, back to Akon. Most impressive interview ever. Let's go.
Akon, what's up, dude?
What's up, bro?
How we doing, man?
Man, I'm doing amazing.
Amazing? That's the kind of energy I need today, Akon. Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm fantastic, man. I'm fantastic. I'm thrilled to be talking to you. I'm a huge fan.
We are pumped. You're a legend, man. I'm very happy to have you here. Thanks for taking the time.
Brother, appreciate that, man.
I mean, I feel like as much success as you had in music, and there's a shit ton of it, and we will get to it, everything you seem to be doing, in real life, in what matters, seems to be even more impressive. But yet at the same time, I feel like people just, they know you for your hits and they know you for your music. What are you more, proud of? And does it bother you if people aren't recognizing what you've done in Africa and what you're doing with philanthropy? Or where do you feel as far as you're both sides of your career are?
Oh no, man, I'm actually satisfied with everything and how it all went, how it was going. I think from a music standpoint, it was more important to be recognized on the music side of things. And I feel like I accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish musically, so I'm totally cool. At this point now, it's all about having fun with the music, exposing certain things from a social standpoint and being involved there musically. But on the philanthropic side, that was never really done to get recognition or let people know that I was doing that. Seriously.
You're breaking up a little bit on us. I'm going to see if the connection will kind of clear up for it there. But yeah, I think you're better now. I think you came back in now. You good?
Let me move to a different part of my house. Maybe that might work out better.
Okay. I do like that part of the house with the ambient lighting in the ceiling, though. That looked pretty dope.
All right, how's that? Is that better?
This is better. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Let's hope we get better Wi-Fi in Akon City, dude.
Telling me. Well, the thing is, I'm in the studio.
Uh-huh.
And the studio is kind of soundproof, but it also not only block out sound, but it blocks signals a little bit too. So I got to get close to the door.
Oh, that makes
sense. Thank you. That's good stuff.
You were saying about the philanthropy that it was never done for recognition, and
yes,
I totally get that. But recognition's nice.
I guess on. Because honestly, recognition doesn't do anything for me but bring more work.
There you go.
So the more things I can accomplish low key, the better it's easier to kind of enjoy life a little bit more. But I think are known for things like that size is like everything come at you. So you're constantly focused on different things that's constantly coming at you. And you're just super busy trying to organize around you, No,
that makes sense. But when I learned everything that you've done, I think you do deserve more recognition. Like when I tell people Like, did you know Akon powers electricity in 15 African countries, and that he's coming out with his own crypto city, and that he once like considered seriously running for president? People are like, what? Like, you know, Akon, like Convict Music, the dude from this song and that song. And I'm like, yeah, man, like he does big things. You should know that about him. But I guess it's, you know, I think you can only do the biggest things when you're doing it for the right reasons. So I guess good on you.
Yeah, I kind of like that it just naturally, you know, organically spreads, you know, and I think when it's like that, it also gives you a good deliverable pace at things, because by the time people find out, it's almost materialized or already materialized. Whereas soon, and they notice that it's not really nothing really happening yet, they just assume it's a lot of, you know, talk. Again?
Yeah, we're back. We're back now.
It's in and out. It's in and out. We got you though. So talk to me a little bit about Akon City, because I mean, that sounds like something from a movie. It sounds like something from the future, but it's this $6 billion Akon, literally an Akon City with hospitals and buildings, and it's all crypto based. How the hell do you pull something like that off?
Dude, I ask myself that every day, like, because I didn't realize how much of it was actually growing to become so big. It started off as me just trying to create areas where I can create trading mechanisms for Akoin. You know, it's like, what's the purpose of having a coin if you can't use it, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's a lot of mistakes that a lot of these tech guys ran into. They just had ideas with a coin attached to an idea, but nothing physical or tangible. So my idea was, okay, if I'm going to create a coin for Africa, I want to be able to utilize every resource Africa has, not only from, you know, the minerals and the you know, the gold, silver, cobalt, and all the stuff mining in the grounds, but also utilize the population, and more than anything, all that land. So I went and bought 2,000 acres, and I said, I'm just going to put a crazy development up here, but I want the architecture to really feel African. I want it to, like, when they come in, it's a whole nother city within itself, not what they've ever seen in the movies of past historical African, you know, footage and stuff like that with jungles and, you know, and AIDS and all the negative stuff that they're promoting, but something that looked futuristic to where Africa can really become. And it just so happened around that time as I started the project, the movie Wakanda came out. Mm-hmm. And actually the real life film version of what I was trying to do. You know, it was just mind blowing. But I think because of that, it kind of attached me to the music somehow and was like the real life Wakanda. And I kind of believed that story when it came out. So I just ran with it with them.
Yeah. There you go. That's it.
So this has been in the process for like 5 years. Is that how long you've been working on it?
I finally was able to get the full funding of the $6 billion to build the whole city out. We start our first groundbreaking for construction in January, and the first phase will last about 3 years. It's a 3-phase construction project, a 10-year bill. But you know, by the first phase, people will be able to actually come in, enjoy the city, live in it, work in it, and play in it.
Now let's say
like,
things.
Are you like the mayor or like the king of Akon City?
Yeah, well, you can call it the king because I'm the owner of it.
Yeah.
But I want to expand it all throughout the world, but I want to franchise it in other like growing African countries first. And then we're going to go to Asia, we're going to go into Latin America. We're going to, actually, I've been speaking to 2 governors here in America. I can't tell you which state yet, but we might even be able to launch some Akon cities here in the U.S.
So that was what I was going to ask. Like, if things go perfectly, could you do an Akon country if things work out well? But you want to just do Akon cities in different nations? Dude,
if everything goes perfectly, all of Africa will be
Akon. Which rename Africa Akon? That's unbelievable.
Like, I'm going to Akon. I'll be there for about a week.
It's crazy that it's, you know, it's not a pipe dream and that it's something that's actually materializing. It sounds like impossible to pull off. I really don't know how you do it, but you know,
what's crazy is everything seems impossible until you start to go at it, and then you start to realize the more. And you know what? I treated everything, including my business, the way I treated music. It's all collaborations, right? So when I realized, okay, I didn't know that much about what I wanted to do, I started bringing people around me that knew how to start infrastructures, knew what smart cities, was needing and things like that. And I brought in all the professionals and then just paid them what they were worth. And then before you know it, they bring in people that, that bring in another whole side of educational aspect of things that we need. And it just all starts coming together. And then once the ball's rolling, it's like a snowball effect that becomes bigger than you, because now you got big hedge fund groups and, all these, banking financial institutions that want to now put money into it and pour. And now it's like to the point where it's like I'm turning people down and investors and all kind of stuff.
Isn't that such an insane thing that it's a crazy concept? Like, how am I doing well? I hire smart people and I pay them what they're worth.
Incentivize them. Yeah. I mean, novel concept.
I promise you, it's literally that simple. And I learned that kind of early. And I kind of, because Jimmy Iovine was the first person I feel that paid me what I was worth. And out of it, he got Gaga and all his other stuff, right? So I'm like, dude, if I just pay people what they're worth, I'm going to get what they're, like, it really means you get what you pay for. Like, literally, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
You can't, if that's the best person for the job, dude, I guarantee you pay that person what he's worth, you're going to get back 10 times more back.
That's yet again another thing that I don't know if
pay you guys what you're worth, literally.
I'm gonna tell him that. That's another thing that I don't know if you get credit for. The Lady Gaga. I mean, she's wildly talented and she was destined to be big in the music industry no matter what. But it really was through you that it all kind of began. And I don't think that's something that people necessarily associate you with, but you deserve credit for that as well.
Man, listen, the way I look at it, everything that you accomplish, like they say, whatever you do in the dark will one day come to the light. I think if you work towards recognition and credit, it's going to slow you down. But just accomplish as much as you can, and then all the credit will catch up eventually. Before you know it, one day, God forbid, I leave this earth early, all that'll come out and people be more shocked, and I just be more recognizing for longer for the things that I've accomplished.
Yeah, you're totally right. But it's nice to have that when you're alive. Everyone wants to hear their eulogy. Like, it must be like Akon's the fucking man, dude.
Like, I'm super happy with just knowing it happened. Like, it's cool that everybody knows, but it's more honestly more important that I know that I achieved it.
What was that like? What was the process like with because you were one of the first labels to sign Gaga. What was like? Did you discover her, so to speak, or was it just like you paid her what she was worth?
No. Actually, Gaga, I was the 5th label to sign Gaga.
Oh, you were?
Gaga was with 5 other labels before I picked her up. So she got signed, then got dropped, then got signed again, then got dropped.
So even more credit to you. That means other people had her and had this amazing talent and didn't do it the way you did it. So even more credit for Akon.
I mean, I probably was the first person to ever ask her, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
You have that idea of just putting whatever on you, but Jimmy Iovine was just a smart dude, man. And to this day, every time I mention music, he's always a name that I pull forward because I always gave him super credit for giving me the mind to think outside the box when it comes from a corporate standpoint of the music side of the business. And I always said that he threw me a bone with Gaga because Gaga was actually already on Interscope, She was already on Interscope when I signed my label deal over there. And when I was working with Red One, because they was a producer that I had just signed out of Morocco, we was working Pussycat Dolls, and I just happened to catch a writer's block and was writing with Gaga, And shit, when I found out she was already in the building, I picked up the phone and was like, yo, Jimmy, I need this on my label. She needs to be the first act that I push out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he was like, hell, fuck yeah. He said, all right, well, I believe in you. Take it.
Bro, it's like A Star Is Born was based on you. You're Bradley Cooper, dude.
So let's talk a little bit about the music. Have you been keeping up with over the past couple months in quarantine the Verzuz brand with okay? So I have 2 questions for you on that front. One, do you think you could be beaten in Verzuz? And 2, who do you think could go toe to toe with you, or who would you want to battle with?
With Verzuz, honestly, I could battle anybody.
Anybody, Akon. I think you beat anybody.
I think you're untouchable.
I could battle anybody. Now, the only thing about whether you win or lose, I think that's always been a matter of opinion on the person and what taste of music they like. You know what I mean? So I feel like anybody loses in Verzuz, but I try to count the real hits. And like, there's records that are just great records and okay, it's a smash record. But there are records that are just classics and there's nothing you could do, no time span that you could play it and people won't react to it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm judging off classic records that impacts everybody's lives. And honestly, if I was to go toe to toe with anybody of my generation, I don't think there'll be nobody out there that could beat me.
I don't think so either. I mean, especially, now people are doing what they're.
I just judge music differently. It's not that I'm being arrogant on that aspect. I just feel like, because me personally, I make music to impact people. So I think if it was on that scale, and every one of my records, I did it to impact people, it'd be tough to beat me.
And every feature, you're forget
it. And artists that I've brought into the business, and oh my goodness, it'd be crazy.
So I also think that the way people win Verzuz is about how they pick their catalog. What would you lead off with, and what do you think you would close with? Would you come in hot with like what you believe to be your best record? What do you think is your best record?
That's the thing. I don't even know, bro. Like
too many.
I don't even know. But me, I would come urban first.
Okay.
I think urban kind of sets the tone, and whoever they bring, it got to be someone that's diverse like me. Because I don't think there's too many artists that can come with like 10 urban smashes. Like I would start with Locked Up and probably end with Soul Survivor, right?
God, those are two monsters.
Bro, start with Locked Up, end with Soul Survivor, put I'm So Paid in the middle. I mean, forget about it. You can't touch Akon.
We just go in between, but then I would cross it over on them, and then they got to know if they even got pop records to even match. You know what I mean? Because then I'll go in with the Mr. Lonelys and the Sweet Escapes and Just Dances. I'll be like, dude, how are you gonna beat me?
Yo, can't. Just hearing you say it is so wild. Like, you can't be touched, Akon. You can't be touched.
I can be touched, but it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be difficult.
Who would make you go like, oh, all right, this is gonna be like, I gotta do my homework. I gotta really come with the perfect list.
It would be Michael Jackson.
Jesus Christ. God.
This is where I would get Mike though, because Mike can't go hip hop.
No, right.
Go pop with him, but he can't come hip hop. And then I can even cross it even over into Afrobeat. Mm-hmm. Like if I go into Afrobeat and then go into some of these the WizKid records and the Davido records and all these records that I produce, oh my goodness. It's so, like
I mean, you sound like you're a pretty humble dude in some regard, though. But what you're describing to me, what you're saying, it sounds like you think you're the greatest music creator of all time.
No, I'm not saying that, but I can say of my generation, I'm probably the most curious and probably the most, you could say,
best
fearless as far as going genre to genre. Like I just dropped a Latin album just 3 months ago that went #1 on the Latin music charts, and my hip hop audience or my pop audience don't even know anything about it.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So, I did not know that. That's insane. You went Latin. That's fucking awesome.
Right, that's crazy. Like, so just imagine if we go into the verses and I start dropping my Latin records where I'm actually singing in Spanish. Niggas would be like, what the
fuck is happening? You mentioned that you make music.
You know,
you said that you try and make music that's impactful. What do you feel is your most impactful record?
I think one of the most impactful records I probably made. I think Locked Up was very impactful.
Yeah,
I think Don't was very impactful. I think Mr. Lonely was very impactful.
Mr. Lonely would be mine. That was my song. That was unbelievable. Especially like right. I think I was in high school when it dropped, and it was like we're thinking about two very different things. Like you wrote it, right. You wrote it when you were locked up, and your girl had left you, right?
Yep,
that's what.
Like that on a general basis, I think that was probably the most impactful record out of all my records. If I was to give a chart, that would be #1.
Yeah.
Mr. Lonely.
It is, but you ever think like you're writing that from a place that is like incredible loneliness, where you're incarcerated, your significant other had left you, and then like I'm listening to it and being like, he's speaking to me because my high school girlfriend broke up with me.
You believe if you've been through it, you will understand. You know. So that's why Locked Up was very impactful from an urban space too, because a lot of people went through it. And if you ain't never been locked up, you know somebody who has. You know what I mean?
Right,
so I think depending on who's listening to what songs would definitely like when I was in the Middle East, Don't Matter was one of the biggest the big records there, only because like there's a lot of arranged marriages in India, in the Middle East, and of course in America, there's a lot of jealousy between, when you say couples, right? Somebody may have a girl you like, or a girl may have a guy that she likes, or whatever the case may be, or parents like. But in the Middle East and Indian and certain places, parents would always arrange marriages. So you would find people that fall in love, and then they could not even be together because of tradition.
Mm-hmm.
But they try to find ways to do it anyway, and then there'd be huge repercussions that come. So because of that, I think that was the reason why in that region Don't Matter was just so big.
That's crazy. I never think about that, like how impactful music can be to different cultures and things like that for completely different meanings than you meant when writing it. But that's pretty deep. That's very cool.
Do you think that you had global success? What about your music do you think is that, popped the way it did? I think that voice of yours is so unique, and there's just nobody else like you. Like, when you hear an Akon, when Akon comes on a track.
There's never any questioning, like, what artist is this? It's like, I know Akon's voice. I think you have one of the most iconic voices alive right now.
No, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I think if I was to give credit to what made me, globally kind of, I can say, relate, is I would definitely say the voice and the melody. Because like a lot of places where I used to go for concerts and stuff like this, they would never really know the songs, but they would remember every melody in the record. Mm-hmm. So I always try to find international melodies or melodies that's right in the guidelines of what an audience or a fan can sing. Because most fans can't sing. They just love the fact that you can sing, but they always want to sing with you, right? So I try to keep it at a key where they can sing with me from top to bottom. If you notice, I've never really had any crazy runs or hit a note that was far out of my reach. I always stay like right there,
But now wait a minute, hang on a second. Can you do that and you choose not to, or you just can't go to that level?
Oh no, I can definitely go there.
Wow! Wow!
Made music for the people, So, I always looked at music as customer service. Give the people what they want, and I like to create something that I know for a fact they can be able to enjoy and sing along with me. So I always thinking from that aspect, and I also think from concert aspect too. You want the audience to sing with you loudly, so you got to keep tones and keys that for sure that they can be able to reach.
I think that's a very awesome thing to do. I think a lot of artists, they do want to, do, and you've done it, I'm sure. You want to kind of do what you want to do when you don't really think about the fans, but like being like, I want to cater to my fans I think that's a rare thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It should be.
Oh, we were at such a good run.
I mean, this is the music business, right? And I think most people love the music but forget about the business. They don't. Oh, again?
No, but we're coming back. Well, we're coming back. It's getting steam back. Let me ask you this question while the connection finishes here. I read an article before the interview started that said, this was in 2018, that said you were seriously considering running for president in this election year. Was that true, right? Or is that like a clickbait headline, or you really had thoughts about doing it?
Oh, no, I really had real thoughts about doing it. I even went to the point of registering. I was going to run as a Republican. And that was probably going to shock everybody. Like, Republican? Yeah. Why? But I had the answers for why I was doing it and everything. And I really thought about it very, very seriously. And then I started building this city and all the other things that's going on with it. And I realized, okay, if I decide to run for president, all this will be on hold. Mm-hmm. So let me just go ahead and knock out everything I want to knock out. And there's a lot of things I actually want to be able to do that I just won't be able to do while I'm president. Like, I'm still young. I'm still out there hanging out and living the time of my life. Time of your life as a president, right? So I said, live the time of my life, let these last, legacy goals, let me complete those. And then the next term, I can just nicely walk into the race. And more than anything, though, I wanted to understand American politics, because I'm starting to realize that politics isn't what I thought it was going to be. It's a lot more diverse. It's a lot more gritty. It's super gangster. Like, I'm starting to realize just how dirty politics are. Mm. And Trump showed me just how politics can be played. If you're not prepared for it, they're going to eat you for lunch. So I want to know exactly how to react to certain things, know how to penetrate and hit them when they don't see it coming. So I'm going to be prepared to attack the same way they're going to be ready to attack me.
Now, so put like a year on it. What year what election you think you would consider would be time to run?
I would say probably either 20 I'm gonna be very, very close by 2024.
Wow.
But if I'm 1 inch too early, then I'm gonna wait for 2028.
Okay. All right, that's soon though.
I look forward to that.
You got my vote.
It's within the now and the next 10 years for sure.
Wow.
Now, you said that you're having the time of your life. What does a night with Akon look like? Like having the time of his life, non-coronavirus time.
Oh, I mean, no, dude. I'm gonna be. I normally would be somewhere in the world on somebody's yacht because I'm always on someone else's boat. I would never buy one, right?
Smart man.
Or someone else's boat playing loud music, and we're probably at a private event where there's nothing but a whole bunch of beautiful girls and great exotic foods, and probably an after party shortly after.
What are we drinking on this boat?
I'm drinking Shirley Temples.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But I'm pouring either Grey Goose to someone, or I'm pouring some kind of champagne, whatever they got available. But I've noticed, like recently, the big thing that's been kind of running on everybody is that 1942. So I've been ordering extra 1942 to my parties because all the girls are requesting that now.
What a host. Can I get an invite to one of these parties?
Oh, dude, that would be amazing. I would love for you to come.
Yo, don't even joke around. You fucking.
Dude, I'm serious. You guys have.
All right, dude, we're getting the word to wrap up. I just got one last thing for you. It's so impressive that you're able to do so much of this in music and otherwise when, you did have, a couple speed bumps along the way and some scandals and some shit you had to work through. And also, by the way, just for the record, I think when you look back on it, I think a lot of it was overblown and whatnot, but nonetheless, you had some adversity to overcome. And I think a lot of people would probably be surprised when they hear you and see what you're doing. So just your thoughts on your whole journey and what happened and how you've gotten here now.
Oh, yeah. No, like all those pieces I think was necessary, man, because they matured me a lot. Believe me when I tell you. And I also feel that there's no way you can reach to the top without going through the turbulence. You have to go. And you got to bump your heads a few times to know what's cool, what's not. Because believe me, it only took me one time to react to a hostile fan to realize that every time you react to a hostile fan, you're buying them a house.
Yeah.
Houses and cars for them. That you gonna when they come back with that lawsuit and you decide, do I want to settle this or do I want to go to court to prove I was right? Even though you might have felt you was right. It don't matter. The fact is, once that lawsuit hits your desk, now you got to pay to either get rid of it or pay to defend yourself. And either way, it don't matter. You're gonna have to spend money.
It really don't matter.
All right. Hey, before we let you go, Akon, the new EP, Ain't No Peace. How long did that take to write? Was that a quarantine, right?
No, actually, it's crazy because Ain't No Peace record were pieces of records that I've written. And that just throughout times, I'm always been the kind of artist that went through experiences to write about songs. So a lot of these songs were written way before a lot of this stuff was happening, but I just never had the right time in releasing, whether I was with a label at the time and they wouldn't let me get that, social through my music, or the timing just wasn't right, or I was in a space where I wasn't in a position to release music. But this time I had to put out something. So I got about 3 songs that's very, very current on this album. And then the other 4 are songs that I've written within now and since 2010. But the time has never changed. Situation has always been the same, so the songs are just as relevant now than they were when I made them back then,
Yeah, that's great. That's sad. That's sad that, a decade later it's still the same. I listened to the EP today.
Right.
I love Sweet Love. I love Get Out with Ross. It's fucking It's awesome. Everyone should go listen to it. It was like right as soon as I started listening to it, I was like, oh fuck, man. Akon is the king. He's fucking awesome.
As soon as you hear the clink, as soon as you hear the dinosaur clink, you know what's up. Yeah. Listen, man, thanks so much, and continue taking over the world, and I'll be voting for you in 2028, bro.
Nah, let's go, baby. Let's do it.
See you on the yacht, Akon. Later, man. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to Akon. I think I was drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit in the moment because I am an Akon stan. And I will stand by the fact that I think he is unbelievably well suited to win any versus battle. I don't know if he's like untouchable the way we were characterizing it.
Really?
I mean, I just started to think of like other like when he was like Michael Jackson is the only person. I mean, that's kind of crazy. like I think he would win, but I think like him versus T-Pain would be like a good battle where sometimes you'd be like, oh, T-Pain won that round.
Yeah.
So to be like, nobody can touch me except Michael Jackson, I started to be like, all right, well, like Drake has a lot of hits.
Yeah, Drake.
Like Drake versus Akon, Drake's probably closer to untouchable than, and it's weird too. It's like you could do like Jay-Z, but like usually with the verses, there's similarity. It's like you can't Lil Wayne versus Akon doesn't really make sense,
I think Lil Wayne makes more sense than most. I mean,
more so than Jay-Z, but it's like a rapper versus like this guy is more like a singer and he does hooks and pop songs versus like how are you going to compare that to like bars? You know what I mean? You could do it, but usually it's like an R&B guy versus an R&B guy sort of thing. In that department, I think Drake. I wish in the moment I wasn't just geeking out over Akon. I mean, he gave his reasoning and he would have said it no matter what, but I wish I had said like what about Drake?
Yeah.
Because the thing about Verzuz is like if you played like Sweet Escape and Verzuz, you get like laughed out of the building, even though that's like, dude, I went diamond with that song. It's like your mom listened to that on Z100. But nonetheless, the next step, like we gotta make him do a Verzuz. I want him to fucking do it, but he's too busy becoming a fucking king of the world. You know what we should do? Dave did the Bitcoin sit down with the Winklevosses. We should do the sit down with Akon for Akoin. We should get in on Akoin. Out of all these like other coins, I'm betting on Akoin. The other ones are all just like, I don't trust that guy. I don't know that. Where did these even come from? This came from fucking Akon. He's a very highly trusted guy in my world. Akon and KFC gonna take over the world with Akoin. All right, let's talk to Andy Haynes now, who's a very funny fucking dude. If you've been listening to KFC Radio the past couple weeks, we've had his fiancee Rosebud Baker on. She's just been making fun of him, and I said we got to get Andy in here to have him fight back. And if you've really been paying attention, some of the shit he like jokes about and references is like directly in like rebuttal to Rosebud, and I think without listening. So also check out Rosebud. She's on ATI tonight. Rosebud gives an answer on ATI, and Andy gives or just like a anecdote on this interview that are, I mean, they're perfect. The perfect couple. Like it's just perfect the way it all played out. So Andy Haynes on KFC Radio, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Get some in your system.
I mean, I said on CCK that when I was trying to party this weekend, I'm like drinking stuff I wasn't like necessarily used to, and then when I just went back to good old beer and started drinking Miller Lites, my body was like, I can handle this. Like I know how to process this, and Miller Lite totally changed my weekend. I ended up having a great time. So whether you are celebrating a birthday, whether you're at the beach house for the weekend, whether you're just having a six-pack after work or doing some socially distanced bar hopping, you're getting it delivered by Drizzly, however you're getting Miller Lite in your life, do it because it makes your life better. It's the #1 beer with great taste, less filling, and
you have one right now, actually.
Yeah, right. This is for sure a crack a Miller Lite to end the day type of day, as are most days this year. So if you are, no matter what you're doing, Miller Lite's the answer, and you can go to MillerLite.com/KFC to find the delivery options near you. That's MillerLite.com/KFC. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. So you're going to stay skinny, be in shape, have a great time. And why don't you crack open a cold one right now while you listen to this interview with Andy Haynes. We're going to dive right into it. Andy Haynes is here. And I felt like it was almost, I had a duty to put you on.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Because Rosebud Baker, who is your fiance, has been on a couple times recently. Mm-hmm. She was just flaming you, dude.
I know.
As seems to be the dynamic between you two.
She loves to treat me like I'm Tom Hanks at the end of Philadelphia. like I'm just this geriatric, just dying of a disease. I have a little tremor in my hand. I'm going a little bald. Everything else I have to do for this bitch. And I'm sick of her flaming me. It's not going to stand. We're not married yet.
Yeah, I mean the Diva Cup story was one that we almost puked. But the funniest thing about the Diva Cup thing was the conversation you had afterwards about how big her pussy is. Where you were like, good sized? I mean, there's that's a question you hope to never hear.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Right. I don't expect her to call my dick gargantuan.
Right. It is what it is.
You know my confidence level. It seems that's the fucked up thing is a woman's pussy size is not at all related to her confidence.
No.
You know what I mean? They're not walking around like, I got the tightest pussy, you know?
Like, I'm the fucking best. I got a tight pussy.
But I feel like if you have a hog, you just like wait for doors to open.
Oh, absolutely.
And, you know.
100%. I feel like if you have a big dick, your whole life's different.
Yeah.
You can be like a loser in almost every other aspect of life, and you'll still walk around with confidence.
Oh, a homeless man with a big penis has more confidence than I do.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a bunch of them, and
They're out right now.
They were like, "You got to check this thing out." And I was like, "Holy shit! I counted you out, buddy."
I pay rent.
Yeah.
And he sits on a street corner and he still feels better about
He's like,
himself.
I could fuck that girl. Yeah. Have you seen this thing?
Yo, have you seen them just like harass women? Yeah.
I
they
saw-
have all the confidence in the world.
Dude, there was a guy today. Our right outside our office is like, we call it the shanty town. They just seem to converge on our office. So there's like a little community of them. There was a guy today at the I don't even know what to call those things where you can like plug in your phone and all that shit.
Yeah.
And he had a fucking iPad. And he was just sitting there, and everything else is horrendously homeless, and he's just scrolling on his tablet. I was like,
I like how
fuck is
those are like the best like places for homeless guys to hang out because they're like someone's gonna come and charge their phone and I'll just harass them.
Yeah, I'll get some interaction.
Well, also, I've never seen anybody who wasn't like an Italian tourist or a homeless person at the kiosk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
It's just a power bank for people on the street. And I mean, you know, God bless them. I'm glad they can use their phones.
They can juice up. It's a weird world where the homeless people can
Dude,
have
I
better-
saw a
like the
homeless
same
guy-
technology as you.
One of the shantytown guys, I was walking by the office once, and there was a homeless man who was verbally abusing / hitting on an attractive doctor. And I was like, he thinks he can hit on a doctor.
Yeah.
I would never in a million years. I'd be like, that woman is out of my league. And he was just like, I got this.
I'm doing
Ignorance is
well in my
bliss.
career, and I still would not hit on a doctor.
Never.
Like, that's uncalled for.
I know a doctor is
That's
above
just
me. The doctor
disrespectful.
has no interest in me,
None.
and they shouldn't. But a homeless guy was like, yeah.
That's
I
why
could take
people-
her down. I could go fuck her in an alley, I suppose.
People who are oblivious to all things, whether you're homeless or just an asshole or dumb or whatever,
Yeah.
they're the happiest. They don't think.
I would love
I wake
to
up
be
every day and I'm
stupid.
like, here's yes.
I would love it.
Honestly,
I'd love to be
If you're-
stupid
if
or
you're-
smart.
If you're not,
I'm
yes,
neither.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
If you're,
In between.
I'd rather
Right.
be really smart, where I can like, I get it. I see the matrix. I can start companies and build things.
Yeah.
and all that. If you're not going to be that, be a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I would love to be so brain dead that I could be an actor. You know what I mean? How people are like, "You're a firefighter," and you're like, "I'm a firefighter."
I can do that. I can do
Or
that.
I would love to be a genius where, yeah, like I wear like those fucking like what are those shoes called that every startup guy wears?
Allbirds.
Allbirds. Yeah, like I wear Allbirds and I ride one of those one wheels, and I make zero eye contact with
Yes.
people. I just walk out of rooms after I've said what I've
You're
said.
just
Yes.
explaining autism.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to be autistic.
It's the
I-
new,
what
it's
I
the
like
new rebrand.
the ability to just not care about other people's feelings at all. That's also a little autistic, yeah, right? But that's the best part. It's like I just
Just not read cues.
I'm always I'm just always like, well, you know, I don't want to make that person uncomfortable, or like, hey, let's like I want to be friendly to you, or I'm just trying to be like a normal good person. I'm done with that.
Yeah.
I just want to walk around like I'm a homeless guy with a 10-inch dick and be like, I don't fucking care about
Yeah,
you.
yeah. You
It's
just lay
amazing.
down in parks. You're like, this is my bench. I got the whole. Look at my dick.
I'm not embarrassed. I'm not. No, what are you talking about? This is awesome. It's all just a frame of mind.
There's a our street, like like New York's like falling into chaos and it's just deteriorating as a society. So there's like a lot more like drug addicts and homeless people on our street, which is not great when you have like a tiny loudmouth fiance who
Yeah.
walks there at night.
Yeah.
But there's one guy and he sits next to our stoop every night, and it's the weirdest thing. He's a black guy. I don't know if he's homeless or he's just like an alcoholic and he just goes there to get drunk. But he pipes Young Country every night. Every night he is listening. I don't even know the artist that he's listening to, but it is like modern country, and it's like a 45-year-old black guy, and he's just like sitting there drunk, just like rocking out like he's like just on the ranch or something. He's just like tearing up. And it almost feels like the Matrix trying to be like, you don't know all the black guys, all right? Here's a
Stop
different-
judging.
Yeah, here's
Stop.
a different one. Don't typecast.
Does Rosebud mouth off a lot?
She can. I think for the most part, she's like keeps her distance from everybody. She kind of just like operates like we were talking about with the confidence of an autistic person, where she just is like, okay, I'm done with this and just moves on. But like there's these teens. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Yeah,
we got
the
this
stoop
fucking
teens
group of teens that are like the kids from that movie Kids.
Yeah.
You know, just like a bunch of skater, drug addict, ne'er-do-wells.
Fucking terrifying. Those
Yeah,
kids.
and
We've
they-
always said walking the street, not now, but prior, walking the street of Manhattan or anywhere in the city at like 3:00 when school gets out.
Yeah.
It's like you better have a fucking gun on you. These kids are dangerous.
John Mulaney has that great joke about how they're like the ones who know how to hit you in the most vulnerable places.
Yes.
And it is like that. Like I'm totally like I wouldn't be intimidated probably to fight a man my age, but a teen just interacting with a teen boy, I'm like, this is gonna go awful for me.
He thinks you're such a loser.
Dude, I was coming out of my building one time. I had both dogs. I'm already pathetic because I'm carrying 2 dogs. People just assume I'm a walker. And they're just sitting on my stoop, so I can't exit the door. And I can hear them talking about me. They're rolling a blunt, and they're just like, man, this guy's so hot, he can't get out right now. Meanwhile, I'm clocking it. I'm like, all right, the kids are saying hot for angry.
Mental note. Yeah,
I'm
that.
gonna
Yeah.
use that when I code switch next time. And so then eventually I'm just like, all right, fuck this. And I open the door. They don't move. I start to kind of like try to get past them. And the door closes on my puppy's tail. So she's like, and I finally lose my mind. I get down to the floor and I'm like, all right, listen, when I get back here, you guys better be gone. And I want you to take all this shit with you. And they were like, all right, you do you, man. And I was just like, fuck.
And none of that happened.
Yeah,
did
we'll
they?
see when you get back, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
There was one time I left this when I lived in Boston still. I left my apartment complex or building, and there was a homeless guy in the entryway. And because it was like the front door would open, like that didn't lock, which is always such a weird thing, which is like, yeah, the front door doesn't lock. Like, okay. And like, the second door will lock, but the front one, nah. And a homeless guy was passed out in the entryway. And he had shit twice. He had shit on the floor, 2 separate corners.
Wow.
And
Everybody knows you make a poop corner and you stick to it, dude.
Yeah.
And I would rather have to deal with that than like teenagers.
Yeah, they're just
I was like,
scary.
all right, fine. Homeless guy shit,
They're
I can
cool
handle.
and they're mean.
Yeah, they're better.
But here's
than
the thing.
you.
Maybe they have 10-inch dicks because I don't think I was ever that teen.
I think it's a New Yorker thing too.
Yeah,
I
probably.
think it's like a young.
You grow up in the city, you're a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, you're a monster.
So take solace that those kids will probably like flame out and die soon.
Yeah, it's like Kurt Metzger has a joke. He says every kid in New York can't drive and they're sober by 20. You know, it's like they live a very busy life.
Yeah.
You know, they try heroin in middle school.
They really do. We used to do this show with Asa Akiro. She like grew up going to like a prep school in the city. And you know,
She was sober by, like,
by
16.
like in her teens she was sober and had fucked like 150 dudes by the time she was like 16.
Good for her.
Yeah, she was like, I miss it. She's sober now. She's like, I miss it so much.
Yeah, I like her sobriety too, where she's like, I'm not gonna be sober forever.
Yeah, she's just on a long hiatus.
Yeah, she's like, I'll still like one day I'm gonna do crack.
I
again.
promise you, I put it in the books right now. Asa Akira will die of a heroin overdose. Not anytime soon, but that will be the cause of death.
Yeah, I mean, that was like, I'm sober. I'm in the program. I like don't plan on ever going out. But if I did go out, it would not be like, I would not have a beer with friends. I
No.
would not like smoke a bowl. I would
go hard.
Yeah, I would do Hunter S. Thompson level, like, you know, like I would be measuring amounts of like adrenethol and crack cocaine that I could, it would just be up and down, you know, lizard people. It just
No, yeah. If you're gonna like flush it all away, fucking flush it.
I want to
Let's
see
go.
the fox head in the sky. You know?
She said she was addicted to crack for like a weekend. And she's like the second I did crack, I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like
There's
this
a reason
makes
why.
a lot of sense.
I smoked crack, not like I smoked crack accidentally.
I feel like that's the majority of crack.
Yeah, it was in Belize, and somebody put it in a spliff, but they didn't put weed in it, and so I was like, it's a weird taste.
This is not
And
smelling
I
any of the weed I've
asked
ever
them
smoked.
what this was, and they're like, it's when you cook the cocaine up in a rock. And I was like, fuck. Like I was like I was in like a tree house in the jungle. Thought it was like there's reggae playing. I was like, man, the vibes are so good. And fucking my friends kept smoking it though, and I was like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, we smoked a little crack. What's the difference between a little and a lot?
Hey, no argument there.
I had a buddy.
Although I'm sure there is a very big difference.
Yeah,
but
yeah. They were chasing street dogs. Meanwhile, I was like, I should go organize our room.
I had a buddy. We were in Salamanca, Spain, and we were walking by this dude who was sitting on the steps of a church, and he had like a pipe. And he's like, "Hey, you guys want to hit this?" And we were in high school. We were probably like 16 or 17. And my buddy, who was a bigger drug user than me at the time, I think we've kind of passed like ships in the night. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm in." And he went over and he smoked it, and he like hit it once, and he immediately walked away, just going, "Not weed, not weed, not weed."
What was it?
He thinks it was crack. We don't know for sure.
We'll never know.
But it was
that's
like,
beautiful.
I know he spent the next 3 hours rolling around in the grass in a park.
Wow, that's great. I like that before it kicked in, he was like, abandoned ship. I'm infected with the virus. That's fucked. Yeah, I mean, I miss drugs. Like,
do you?
For the crazy, I don't miss like the data, because I was just like a guy who'd be like, I have to go to Target. Let's get high. But
Yeah.
I miss the times where it was like you went out to the desert and you like took off all
nuts.
your clothes.
Yeah. So do you just not do any of that stuff anymore?
No, nothing.
Those are the things you can't do with your not doing drugs, really.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean,
you can't go to Burning Man and be like, "I'm sober, guys."
there actually is like a big group of people that are sober. Like Moshe Kasher is sober. He's been sober for like 20 years, and he goes to Burning Man and with a bunch of other sober people. I have no interest in that.
Oh, that sounds like hell.
Yeah.
Like those people that wear the goggles and they get like I would be bummed for them and me. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Right.
Being around like drunk and high people sober is like, every time I'm around someone who's drunk when I'm sober, I'm like, I might get sober. because
Yeah,
you
I
look
can't
like
ever
an
do
asshole.
that. Right.
Like-
Basically, it's like we all have to be assholes together.
Right.
So I don't want anybody on the outside looking in being like, "Well, I can see that you're an asshole."
And also, I would feel like I would ruin it for a lot of people.
Yeah, right.
You know, like, have you ever been on mushrooms and you're like walking out of the woods on a trail and then it's like you just like are like, there's other people. You know, like the energy is.
Yeah.
So.
It's better to just. But what do you do then? Like, what do you guys do? I had this like quarter life crisis. I'm 35 now, but when I was like 27, I think it was, I was like, I don't have any talents or hobbies, or I just drink and I go out to restaurants and like that's it. And I still haven't really found anything since then.
You're doing great. I think that's the point. You just embrace the nothing.
Embrace mediocrity.
No, I think that. I mean, I guess it's just like
Do you guys feel like you pour your shit into comedy?
Yeah, I pour it into comedy or like work, writing. I don't bullshit, exercising. Like I don't. Do you guys do that thing where you like go online and you fill a cart with like $20,000 worth of just something random? You're like, I'm gonna build a house, and then you go and you shop, and then you're like, what the fuck?
I'm not
am I
doing this.
I've
but
never
did kill an
done
hour.
that. I don't understand people who do that, who do carts. If I want something, I just buy it. I've never had a cart that like saved.
Well, because I'm horrible with money. My whole point with is just make as much as you can so that you don't think about it.
Yeah.
And
Great philosophy.
Sometimes I'll catch myself. I'll be like, why am I trying to buy the newest Yeezy? I'm 38. I'm balding, Like, give it up, man.
It's a tough realization to have.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, well, like I asked him because it was just his birthday. I was like, do you feel old yet? He said no, but he shouldn't. He doesn't have any reason to feel old. I was like, I'm 35. I have 2 kids. I'm like, I've never really been in shape, so it's not like I'm getting out of shape, but I'm just getting less and less. And I was just like, yeah, I mean, I'm probably not cool ever again. This is it.
I think that's the thing is like, I think you can go like too far with it where you become like a bummer and you're like, I've decided to just explore like all the hate in my heart and resentments and everybody's like, Jesus Christ.
You suck, dude.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends that send like weekly emails about things they've read.
What? Those would not be friends anymore.
I want cynicism, so I don't want to get rid of that. Like I want a certain amount of cynicism and I love to talk shit. But I think, I don't know. I just try to I try not to focus on the outcomes, and I just know I can't get fucked up. So I just try to fill my day. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's honestly like I don't think
by
about
day.
it. And then I
Then
just
go to
keep
sleep and then do it
going.
again.
And then sometimes I check in and I'm like, God damn, a year went by?
You fit in right here in this place, Andy.
Yeah, I'm like,
you are a good
I'm
fit.
in Maine? How the fuck did this happen? I did a lot of traveling before all this shut down. Like I used to do these things where I I would try to find the cheapest ticket to go the farthest I could for a weekend.
Yeah, you got like a little hippie vibe to you, or I could see that.
Yeah. Like, but I would like, I flew to Iceland for one time just to do something stupid, or like I went to Europe in the fall and did a bunch of comedy. I mean, that's the nice thing about like your comedy can be not just a job; it can be like a lifestyle
experience. Yeah,
and like it's kind of not 9 to 5, but like morning till night. Like so I don't know, man. I try not to think about it. That's the main thing I do, and then. Fuck, I
I'll
deal
tell you
with
what helps
Rosebud.
you not think about things.
Drugs.
And alcohol.
I mean, that's the main reason I did it.
Yeah.
But then, you're like in, like, I remember this one time I went to Kmart and I was like stoned out of my mind. Like I smoked a blunt and went to Kmart, and then I got home and I was like, why did I buy like the entire Jewish candy section? Like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Kmart's a wild spot to go to.
Dude, the Hollywood Kmart, it's like the lights aren't on unless you walk into that section. You know what I mean?
That's what Bargatze's got a joke about that.
Oh,
where
yeah,
he talks
yeah.
about how like he's like, you walk into Kmart, you're like, are you guys going out of business? They're like, no, we're doing great.
We're thriving.
Yeah, it's funny that you asked that because I'm like having this little crisis. I'm like, what is my plan? But yeah, dude, you're 35.
Newly engaged though, right? You did
Newly
you
engaged,
did a
yeah.
quarantine engagement, right? Or
Yeah,
proposal, I mean.
I hadn't bought her a birthday present, so I figured that was
Two birds, one stone.
I was like, all right, let's get this out of the way. And she was such a brat about it. She was like, I knew you were going to do it this way. I was like, Jesus Christ, the world is dying and you're upset about give me a break. Just like, she wants like a mariachi band on a mountaintop.
Like, take it or leave it, bitch.
We had I forget if it was a voicemail or if it was we did like a segment, Am I the Asshole?
Yeah.
And it was a guy who proposed to his girlfriend 4 times, and she kept being like, she's like, I want to marry you, but I'm not thrilled with this engagement.
4.
And it was
Don't marry that girl.
Yeah,
That's what we
right.
both said, yeah. The first one was like, it was quarantine, and she said just like, I always pictured it being something else. And the guy was like, all right, I'll give you that.
He did it like in
extenuating.
bed. Like, he didn't have a
circumstances.
ring. He was just like, he's like, hey, you want to get married? And she's like, yes, but not like this.
Then he did one like with some.
They went to like a nice dinner. was
Right, that
one.
wasn't good.
And then they
with
went
the
to New
family.
Orleans,
Right.
and he proposed it like on like a rooftop. That
No
wasn't good.
Like, this
and I
girl
forget what the
sucks.
fourth one was. And she's
Yeah,
just like,
that's a lifetime you're signing up for. If you're
Yeah.
listening right now, run, do not walk. Jesus Christ.
Kill that girl, actually. Kill her. Bury her. And
then you'll get a Netflix show.
Yeah.
And you'll be fucking set. You'll be able to hire that lawyer from the staircase.
God, that guy was so fucking guilty.
Yeah,
The
of course.
staircase. He just they just conveniently left out of that whole documentary that they took out like a $4 million life insurance policy on her the day before she died.
Really?
Yeah,
That
wasn't mentioned. I was
that
like,
was the last documentary I've ever watched because I was sick of being tricked into believing things. I'm like, no, this is just what the producer wants me to think.
Yep.
It was he took a $4 million life insurance policy and he's had another wife die on that
and that's
staircase.
yeah, he's murdered someone else before that same exact style.
Dude,
you didn't tell me that.
I love those shows and I watch them over and over again, and then I'm like wondering when they're gonna run out of murders.
So many
You know what I
murders,
mean?
dude. So many murders.
Are there? There's
so
enough?
many murders.
I feel like people are gonna start murdering to meet
Yes.
the need. They're gonna be like, oh,
yeah, there's
That's-
only 2 Netflix docs. We gotta.
That-
I bet
that's
you.
what
I
think
bet you
the
there are
future
Netflix
is.
producers murdering people right now just to keep the fucking money flowing.
Well, if they want to talk to me, I have a fucking tormenting brat of a fiance, and we're kind of coming up in show business, so it'd be like perfect. You know what I mean?
Oh, they both like
It'd be like
achieve
a
their
Phil
dreams
Hartman
and-
in real time. you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll make her relapse, and then we can kill each other in our new home. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
you could like stage it like an overdose, but it was really you. Like,
yeah, of course. Yeah, tons of
And
details.
he's like, yeah, no, I've thought about it.
Yeah, I know.
I'll murder her, and then like right after I murder her, I'll start dating, like a way too young
hot
star.
shit,
And
yeah.
so, but like her funeral will be going on, and they'll be like, he's guilty. I mean, he didn't even go.
Why-
He had
yeah,
like a
it's-
time,
Why did he bring Courtney Stott into this?
Yeah, like I'm dating the Bernie TikTok girl.
Yo, the TikTok, the youths lip syncing your special.
Dude, Rose found that the other day. She hates when I call her Rose, so I'll do it again. But
What a pain in the ass that woman is. Don't call me Rose. Bitch, your name is Rosebud.
yeah, I'm not always gonna say Rosebud and think of a sled. But But yeah, no, it like she was like, "Did you see this?" Like, because I guess she was gonna make fun of me and do it, like where she was gonna lip sync my jokes on her TikTok, which you're too old for TikTok, Rosebud. But she found it. She like hashtagged me, and there's just like, but the weird thing is, it's no like teens, no like dudes in the Indian subcontinent or China. It is just a group of like American 8-year-olds. I have no idea why, but it's like 10 8-year-olds a year ago decided to lip sync my sad jokes.
Well, the first one you put up too, or the one you did a screen recording, like that first girl was covered in bruises, wasn't she?
She has a black eye. Like, what is going? I thought she was Russian. That's how beat up she was. I was like, this is Russia. This has to be Russia. You know, you see a video and you're like, that's Russia.
Yeah, you really usually can tell.
If a house is fucked up enough, like a dog's limping, you're like, Russia.
I always tell a story when I first started interning here, which is
this is the best.
At this point, like 10 years ago, and I was an intern for Kevin and this kid who works for us, Keith. And Keith sent me an email, and he's like, as an intern, you need to check what this video is.
We used to get like a lot of submissions for what we put on the website. So someone emailed us this video.
And it was a live leak. And he's like, the guy who emailed it says it's a Russian dude getting stabbed to death with a screwdriver on a bridge. And I watched it and I just went, that was an accurate description. That was exactly what happened in that video.
I worked for clip shows for like 6 years. I worked on Ridiculousness. I worked on a bunch of other like those style clip shows. And the shit that people will send you sometimes to be on there, they're like, "Hey, I don't know if you guys think this is funny, but there's like this is a bear eating a blind family."
Yes.
Have you seen the show?
Yes. It's fucking people like twisting their ankle on skateboard tricks, dude.
I mean, although Russia should have its own clip show,
yes.
you know, like it should just be, look at this Russian, that Instagram account should just have their own deal, and it's, you know, it's just like women breastfeeding while shooting at a guy, you know, they're on the back of a motorcycle just unloading on a cop that's trying to steal their land, you know.
But my favorite trend in Russia was when they all were, I guess they still are, they're wearing like the GoPros and they just like free climb shit.
Oh yeah.
You know, it gives you like vertigo watching. But there's a few of them where they just fall. And there's just footage of them fucking falling like 30 stories and splattering.
Have you seen the one where it's like it's got to be 10 years old, but it's a girl and they're like on the roof of one of those old like apartment blocks, like Soviet apartment blocks, and she's got a rope around her waist.
Yes,
she's on a chimney.
Yes.
And these boys are like, ha 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 ha, and you're like, oh, what are they gonna do? And they just push her off the roof, and she's on a rope, and she swings like an avenue, and they're just like, ha, funny, she thinks she's gonna die, you know, and you're like, Jesus,
probably is. Yeah,
there was one where
dangerous place, the internet.
Russia's crazy, man. But there was one where this guy jumped off again, one of the Soviet apartment buildings. You can just tell they look like straight out of Chernobyl. Like they have radiation built in, like it's part of the place.
Yeah,
and like this guy jumped off. It must have been 25, 30 stories. 4 inches of snow.
I've seen that one, and he's like,
I had a friend one time take this girl cliff jumping, and it was in Needham, Massachusetts, and she jumped off, and it was a cliff he jumped off regular. It's about a 30-foot cliff, and she jumped off, and it was so shallow that she ended up like sitting down, and she was holding up her leg, and she's like, "What the fuck, Chris?" And her leg was shattered. And he goes, "Look, I'm not a fucking tide clock."
Wow. fucking crazy.
He's like, we're obviously not gonna hook up, so do you mind if I will you watch me jerk off? It's the only way I could get there. I'm probably not gonna see you again, and you know, I rented a car for this.
Look, I'm not a tide clock.
The TikTok, we found out that I guess they're doing the same thing, lip syncing a couple of our podcasts, and
That's great.
No, I don't know. Is it? I feel like they're making fun of me. It's like the stoop teens. I'm like, you're probably doing this ironically, or like, oh hell, well, look how fucking dumb this podcast bit is from this old guy.
It just occurred to me they might be making fun of me. Fuck.
Maybe not. I don't know. I can't imagine why a teen would like anything we're talking about, but
But they probably listen, right?
I mean, I hope. We kind of age appropriate. We try to age appropriately a little bit. So I don't know. Are you on it at all?
On TikTok?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do.
Right.
you
Like
know?
I downloaded it and like tried it a couple times, and I was just like, that's it.
I thought
too-
about putting
too
my
old.
stand up on it. I
Right.
thought about like if I make a sketch, maybe I'll like cross promote on there, but I'm not gonna dance. There's some people that do it wonderfully. There's this guy that Joe Mandy just showed me. He's like a writer for like he was on Parks and Recs and a couple other shows. But this guy Mookie something, he's really funny because he's like our age and he's making fun of the
it, yeah,
platform.
yeah.
He's like doing the duos where like the girl's asking the question and he's like really earnestly answering.
Oh, yeah, I've
was
seen
that
that
the
guy.
one? I think I
Seen that
retweeted
guy.
that where
Yes,
it was like
yes.
there's
he's like
one
in
of
a
them.
pink sweatshirt. and
Yes.
he's got like a light.
He's like,
beard.
what's the first thing you notice about me? He's like, your ass. He just answers like honestly,
Yeah,
right?
it was-
Or no, he's
no.
answering what she wants to hear.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The funniest one is like, would you rather have a girl who's a great dancer or snowboarder? And he's like, dancer for sure. She's like, I actually just said that so I can show this picture of me snowboarding. He's like, I mean, snowboarding.
Totally snowboarding.
She's like, what's the perfect gift for a guy? He's like, PlayStation.
Are you getting back out and doing any comedy, or are you just still laying low?
Yeah, I'm doing all these parks. That's
Yeah.
what I'm doing. I'm doing parks, storefronts, backyards. It's starting to get normal. I mean, like
Yeah.
with there's a couple comedy clubs that are like using the space around their club to do it, and then Brooklyn's just full of like miscreants. It's an abandoned Superfund site, but it's starting to kind of feel normal. I don't expect to do it. I'm not going to really travel for it. I don't want to like have like the on my conscience that I killed somebody's diabetic aunt,
Right.
or that I'm part of a spike, and I'm also fine. It's like I
Right,
don't
you
need
don't
to
need
go
it.
out.
Yeah.
And
Well, I feel like when people started doing drive-in stuff, they started doing park stuff, they started doing all the different variations. I feel like some people are like, I'm never doing that, no fucking way. But now it's getting to the point where it's like, I think you have to start at least trying some of the alternative shit.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't like it and you don't do it again, but I mean, I think it's gonna be this way for a while. So
yeah, I did a couple Zoom shows.
Yeah.
I've done Zoom shows the whole time. I actually do Zoom shows for like sober houses, things like that. That's like a separate deal. It's not for the public. Those are like private shows. So I got kind of comfortable with it, and then people started to get better at doing the Zoom shows. There wasn't the silence. There wasn't the the Zoom bombers. You know what I mean?
where they like take over it.
Where like a kid just jumps in.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
yeah.
That's called Zoom bombing, I guess.
And they just fuck with
Dude.
your set. That's what I mean. They're just mean. They're just mean-spirited children.
I'm gonna. This is kind of bad form, but so I'm in a 12-step program. I go to a lot of 12-step meetings online, and there was like this 2-week period when those all started, where people didn't know how to secure their Zoom meetings, and so kids just found the directory, and they were just going in. And it was melee. It was beautiful. You would just be like halfway through a meeting, and some woman would be like, and that's when I knew that I'd hit my rock bottom. And then just out of nowhere, just a child, just like, I'd like to rock your bottom, bitch. Damn, Teresa got some nice ass titties though. And you're just like, okay.
Wow.
Meeting is taking a turn.
Wow.
It was real fun.
That's amazing. That's horrendous and so fucking
I wish
funny.
I had some screenshots or
Yeah.
like I'd recorded some of those meetings. They were beautiful.
Man,
Was there any part of you that was like nervous about those? Like, I know, like when it started quarantine, like I was like, I'm not gonna do therapy because like, what if they record me? And like, I wasn't trusting it.
Yeah.
But you're
No,
fine.
I'm pretty chill with it. I'm also not somebody who gives a shit if you record my material just because I don't have anything on the books. Like I'm not like working towards a special. So if I was gonna do that, maybe I would change my philosophy on it.
I meant the therapy, like your secrets, but also that makes
I don't have any secrets. That's the thing. I'm just. It's nice. I
It's
just
a wonderful
tell
way to
everything
live.
on stage.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's great.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe if I murder Rosebud, I'll stop sharing so much.
Like living like an open book is. It's not for everyone. I would never like recommend it because
Yeah.
I think you got to be a certain type of person to handle it. But it's so much more.
The only thing I hey, is that sometimes I'm just like, why? Like, you know, guys that just like don't talk and they just like manage to just like keep everything close to the chest. Sometimes I wish I was that type of guy because it's just like you'll see them, they just operate through this. Like, I feel, this is going to sound fucked up. I feel vaguely feminine how open of a book I am because I'm just like, I'll meet somebody and I'm like, I got divorced and also I got molested. I'm like, all right, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, dude. Yeah.
Why are you being so vulnerable right now?
Right.
We're not best friends.
No, but I think that's like a grass is always greener sort of thing. Because I bet you the dude who plays everything close to the vest is just ready to fucking explode on the inside.
But wouldn't it be nice to have so many secrets that you have to like, I don't know, like make a girl wear like a Richard Nixon mask to come? You know what I mean? Like you're just like, I need evil. Like I wish I had some kind of internal battle, but I mean,
you can do that. You can go home with a Richard Nixon mask today and just throw it at that bitch.
Rosebud probably would put them just to be like, all right, let's mix it up. I'd also like you to be somebody else. You know? For some reason, I'm wearing a James Harden mask. I'm like, that seems.
You know your wife well.
Fuck, are you? I'm just always like walking by the bathroom. She's been in there for a long time. The sink is running, but I just hear House of Highlights hoops. What the fuck is going on?
That's so funny. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like, well, I don't know. We're pretty much open books, but we're falling apart at the seams. So maybe it's not a good thing.
I'm an open book on the show. I am the quiet guy if I'm not being paid to talk.
That's great, though. It's also kind of therapeutic, right?
I mean, we get so much shit out here that if I didn't have a podcast, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what would happen to me. I feel like I would explode.
Yeah, I actually think that me and Rosebud don't fight as much as a normal couple, especially living in quarantine, because we have a podcast and like we
Kinda
do
air
talk
it out
so
there.
much shit with each other.
So do you talk about like maybe like real shit that's upsetting you, but you're doing it in like a joking manner for a podcast, so it gets out there, but it's not as
I don't know
serious?
if there's a line. Like like we talk about shit that pisses the other one off pretty much immediately, and then we burn each other for it, and then it's kind of out of the way. I mean, we've had a few fights where it was just like, just being in the same room for 3 months, you're gonna eventually tell somebody to shut the fuck up,
right?
But we've been pretty good, and also, like I can make fun of her. I mean, she's kind of my opposite in that, like, she is totally happy to like take like all the bills in the mailbox, you know, like she'll take them all and she'll like stack them, and then she'll be like, ugh, and then put them in a drawer, forget about all of them, and then just like one day our power goes out. And meanwhile, like if my bills are not in the right order in my wallet, I'm just like sitting there tapping my desk. Like, I gotta fix this.
You
know, so
balance each other out.
I'm explaining autism again. But yeah, I think it's nice the podcast, like especially with. I wouldn't recommend doing it with your romantic partner.
Yeah, see, I think it's either crazy or it's like, Tom Segura and Christina P. or you two, where it just seems to like work. But I feel like the vast majority of people who try that would not succeed.
Yeah, and I think also you have to be like willing to be completely honest and also not taking things personally, because
I think you have to be comics though.
Yeah.
Right? I mean
some people I think have been able to pull it off. I don't know who they are. Maybe like Dax Shepard and
Kristen Bell.
Yeah, like I think maybe they had a podcast or something.
Right.
But you see so many people try to do it where like one isn't a comic, or maybe they just aren't funny people, but they call themselves comics. And that was me throwing shade.
Someone's picking that up.
But you know what I mean? Like you can see it. It's like pained.
Yeah.
You're like, you guys are holding something back.
Right.
He hates her.
Right.
Just say it, man. Break, and still post it. Yeah.
Well, when did you start the podcast with her?
First day of quarantine.
Yeah, it was like a quarantine
we did
production,
it like,
right?
Yeah. I mean, it was like the idea was like,
are you just gonna do it forever? We started to do some shit in quarantine that we were like, we got to like, I don't know, 3 months in, and we were like, all right, that's enough. Like, we can't just do this forever.
Well, we were doing it every day, and then that was like
that's
insane. So then we went down to like weekdays, and then we went down to 3 days a week, and now we like found the happy medium of like free episode, Patreon episode.
There you go.
And it's like it gives us like a little bit of structure. It pays a little bit of our, our rent/bills, and then we have fun. So yeah, I think we'll probably do it as long as we can.
Stop the relapse,
Yeah, once we relapse, it's gonna be we're just gonna post a picture of fire. It's gonna be like one of those alien movies where they're like, we got a dispatch from this like remote base, and it's just like somebody screaming like all is lost. That'll be the last Find Your Beach.
I love it.
Yeah,
I'm honestly rooting for that day one day. It's gonna be that entertaining. All right, man. Thanks for coming in. So
Hey,
it's
thanks for having me,
Find
man.
Your Beach.
yeah.
Tell people where the social is and where to find them. And everything.
Just Find Your Beach on Instagram. We got a Patreon. You can just search that. And I'm Andy Haynes. Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you, dude.